You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Hey, hey, oi, oi. Hey, hey, oi, oi. In Trinidad and Tobago, politics was we and them. That was never meant to be so, according to the anthem. But ethnic insecurity was maintained to divide us by some people in the country to sow the seeds of distrust. But we have fought a new system within the community. Now what used to be we and them has now become only we. From now on this nation is we. From now on it is you and I. From now on it is unity. From now on we flying high. All the races have come together to build a better country and create a brighter future for the whole society. The we and them thing is no more, because it is plain to see in this country from shore to shore the community is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. India and some came from Africa. Look today, their descendants are here, coexisting together. There are others who came here too, the Chinese, Syrians and such. Native people are just a few in this land that we love so much. But the politics of the day and the love for a party cause people to begin to say them is them and we is we. From now on this country is we. From now on we all shall be one. From now on that's how it shall be. From now on all division done. As today united we stand, the people of Trinbago. One country, one nation, one island. Chutney Pan and Calypso. It's Trinidad and Tobago, better known as TNT. And we want the whole world to know we see ourselves as we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. In this nation is no more, and Mother China done disappear, gone away for good I'm sure. If we want to build a real nation, there can be no we and them. In spite of ethnic persuasion, all should fit in the system. Side by side we stand hand in hand within the society. This here paradise island, because you and I means we. From now on love and tears we. From now on race do not matter. From now on we means unity. From now on we are together. They cannot divide me again, cause we enter a new era. United we shall all remain, looking out for each other. Eric tell me matter they done. Today it is plain to see a new paradigm has begun, and that paradigm is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we. No more we and them, from now on this nation is we and we and we and we. Some politicians have try their best to keep we subdivided, as their policies would attest. And now we are united, using that old colonial scheme. They sought to divide and rule, because if we are not a team, we are more easy to fool. Look, they had us fighting each other, causing misery and pain. Now all these times are gone forever, before never again. From now on, Trinidad is we. From now on, one philosophy. From now on, Tobago shall be. From now on, standing equally. No more African, no more Indian. We shall all be citizens, forged together to build one nation. Though we are different persons, done away with the we and them. In this land of Black Trinity, whenever we sing the anthem, from now on is only we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we. No more we and them. From now on, this nation is we and we and we and we.
Do not categorize the blessing by colors. It is not the colors you need to watch. It is the character. Watch out for the character. I'm going to tell you that there are three basic types of people that you will interact with if you are a child of destiny. Can I share this with you? The first group are confidants. Confidants. You will have very few of them. Confidants are those people in your life who love you unconditionally. They are into you. Whether you're up or down, right or wrong, they are into you. They are in for the long haul. If you get in trouble, they get in trouble with you. They'll come see you in the jailhouse. They'll come get you out the crack house. They're confidants. You can open up and share anything with them. You'll never inherit your kingdom until you find your confidant. You can't be David till you find your Jonathan. Having a good confidant is the key that unlocks the kingdom, because you were raised outside the gate and God's going to cause you to reach over the wall. You got to have a confidant behind the wall who can mentor you for what God is going to do next in your life. The problem with most people is that everybody they run around with is under them. And so you are forever feeding people who can't feed you. And after years of feeding them, they begin to drain you. You've got to have somebody who can feed you so you can feed somebody else. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Am I talking to anybody in here? You need the confidant then. The confidant is those few people that come along in your life that are for you. They are with you. They are intimately intertwined in your life. They are there to make sure that you reach your destiny. They will confront you. They will get in your face. They will get in your business. They will tell you when you're wrong, because they are confidants. If you have 2 or 3 of them in a lifetime, you are a blessed person. Without them, you'll never be who God called you to be. You need to find your confidant. Number 2, the other group are your constituents. They are not into you. They are into what you are for. They are for what you are for. They are your constituents. And as long as you are for what they are for, they will walk with you and work with you and labor with you, but never think that they are for you. They are for what you are for. And you have to know that, because if they meet somebody else that will further their agenda, they will leave you and hook up with them, because they were never for you. They were just for what you were for. They are your constituents. And throughout your life, if you're not careful, particularly if you're broken, you will mistake your constituents for your confidants. And you will think that they are for you when they are really not for you. They are just for what you are for. And by the time you get through falling in love with them, they will break your heart as they hook up with somebody else who is for what you are for, because it was never about you anyway. It was about the causes that you represent. They are for what you are for, but they are not for you. They are your constituents. Can I go deeper with this? The third group are your comrades. These people are not for you, nor are they for what you are for. It is just that they are against what you are against. And the comrades will make strange bedfellows. This will cause people to come together who are not for you, and they are not for what you are for, but they are against what you are against. And they will team up with you to help fight a greater enemy. But don't be confused by their associations. They will only be with you until the victory is accomplished. These people are like scaffolding. They come into your life to fulfill a purpose. And when the purpose is complete, the scaffolding is removed. But don't be upset when they are removed, because the building always remains when the scaffolding is removed. What I'm saying to you, my brothers and sisters, expect the constituents and the comrades to leave you and desert you after a while. Don't be upset when they don't react to your dream the way you expected them to, because they were never really with you in the first place. Be careful then who you tell your dream to, because if you tell your dream to your constituents, they will desert you and try to fulfill the dream without you. If you tell it to your comrades, they won't support it, because they never were for what you were for anyway. If you find a few people in your entire life with whom you can share your dream with, you are a blessed somebody. I can tell you how to identify people who are really for you. If they are really for you, they will weep with you when you weep, and they will rejoice when you rejoice. When you walk in a room and you tell somebody good news, stop being happy for a minute and watch their reaction. If they're not happy for you, shut your mouth and walk back out of the door. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. Oh yeah, because when they are really connected to you, they will be happy for you when you share your dream. Find somebody, look them in the eye and say, are you happy for me? If you don't get the right reaction, don't tell them anything else. You need somebody who's really going to be happy for you. I don't want just anybody praying for me. I don't want none of them haters praying for me, because you know you hate me and you don't want me to succeed. I want somebody praying for me who really wants me to be blessed, who wants me to be an overcomer, so you can put up your oil and stop speaking in tongues, because you know you never did speak to me anyway, and ain't no need in you coming up here in this hospital like you gonna pray some cancer up off of me. I'd rather have somebody who really loves me lay across the bed and rebuke the devil. And God is so faithful, he'll always give you somebody. Oh, if he ever sent anybody into your life to help you, you ought to just clap your hands and thank him for the people he sent. Don't worry about the people he took. You ought to praise him for the people he sent. Tell somebody, say, somebody help me. I didn't get here by myself. Somebody helped me to get here. Somebody taught me how to stand. Somebody got me behind the gate. Somebody taught me the protocol of the pilot. Somebody encouraged me when I felt like dropping out of school. Somebody helped me when my back was up against the wall. Somebody mentored me when I was going through a divorce. Somebody helped me when I was going through a crisis. God is so faithful that he will never leave himself without a witness. He will send somebody.
boy, you must be mad. This is the land of milk and honey, rum and coke and easy money. While those birds as we were singing, alarm bells kept on ringing, pundits on each pulpit saying, our hearts and our soul decaying. Suddenly we wake up to a living nightmare, not least while electorals ask, how did we ever come to this? But so long we hear it, you got to stand up and be counted, but daily we're intimidated. Every day I next to witness silence while we recoil from the violence. In our land there is a crisis, broke police, unruly ISIS, while sweet revenge gangs exacting, police commissioners still acting Trinbago. It's high time we separate the goat from the sheep. Tell them talk is cheap, we're caught in the world when we have to reap, while them police busy playing hide and seek. We're facing the world when we had to reap. Hey, oh yeah, save our land, Trinidad and Tobago. Oh yeah, in our schools, kids getting on, we're fighting, making porn. Our school girls, you won't believe, live MMA, they pulling weave. Check the vibes, they're living by dance, all slackness, get rich or die. Alkaline to Movado, mention maestro, they don't know. No morals, no ethics, there is a centrifugal black hole, Lord, we must move quick to wake their conscience and save their soul. So long we've been hearing evil triumphs when good men do nothing. No triggers pump while words be frotting, and while church attendance real low, protest pack plus them casino, while black market prices haggling, through up ports, big guns they smuggling. Spanish women are hot like their music, saucy salsa, human traffic, Trinbago. We can't wait, the devil making hay while we sleep. Tell them talk is cheap, we're caught in the world when we have to reap, while we look on them as more mothers who weep. We're in the world when we had to reap. Oh yeah, oh no. Busy street, yes, in our city, killed by beasts who show no pity. Now there's fear and trepidation. What is happening to our nation? So I pray this one infraction will propel us into action. Trinbago, the time is now. We have to take our country back while these monsters flow. We cannot run from their attack. That is why I'm still saying, time to stand up and be counted. Our young girls, they're being hunted, not for jobs by institutions, but by clubs for prostitution. While for new gas, some arranging on the seas, cargo exchanging in the Gulf, drugs, guns and women, and the Coast Guard cannot stop them. Trinbago, the time is now. Look how the murder rate leap, tell them talk is cheap. We're caught in the world when we have to reap. Before more of our daughters step
personal struggle. It's so sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover, 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 cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover, 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 the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover, cover, cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover, cover, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover, cover, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover, cover, cover. Cover me. Cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person.
Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes.
True.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners, of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's no other than in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as we say here in the village, doesn't matter what planet you're from, what color t-shirt you wear, we originate, we don't imitate. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear. You have a mauve t-shirt, you have a burgundy t-shirt, you have an orange t-shirt. Each and every one is welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't matter what planet you're from. You're from Mazatanius, Xenoranius, Venuranius, Sonaranius. Each and every one is welcome in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And as I said previously, in the village, we originate, we don't imitate. Let me bring in 1/3 of the DAT Triplets, no other than Thomas E. Nisbet Marshall, by way of commissioner here in Newark, New Jersey, by way of Celibia, by way of Marabella, going to school in Palo Seco. Don't know how we got to Palo Seco all the way from Marabella and Salibe or Celibia, but he did. Didn't know why he didn't go to school closer. We will find that out. It's no other than Thomas E., the commissioner in Newark, Nesbitt boy. Tommy, welcome.
Good evening, my good friend. Here I am, Commissioner Salibe Man. Glad to be here. It's been a pleasure. Every time that you invite me into the village, I enjoy coming into the village. And here I am, village people, here I am. Happy to be here as usual. How are you today?
Today's a excellent Teacher's Day. Hey, what's that song? Them village, is the village people sing YMCA? Who sing that?
Yeah, you got it.
I get it right?
Correct.
All right, thanks. Because I just mix things up quite often. You know what I mean? Very good at that. When you grow up in Chumaka Clavantel, they say we like to mix things up. You know what I mean? And of course, let's bring in the other 1/3 of the DAT Triplets. That's Diana, Ansem, and Paul. No other than the Onyx Wave, Ben Skin, Waveney, McDonald, Diana, the poet, the poetress, by way of Barbados, on her way to TNT, ending up in St. Augustine, having a parlor in front of the theater in Tanapuna. And of course, from a place in Barbados with a name to be mentioned later, no other than the Onyx Wave, Waveney, Stormy, the Storm, Greta, the Trinbagonian, Benskin, Diana, McDonald boy.
I see Dr. Rowley school you properly. Chaos and bacchanal, right?
Chaos and who's
Chaos and back. Dr. Rowley school you properly. Tell me what's going on.
My dear lady. How are you?
What place is I from Barbados that you're going to mention later on? Let me hear.
Well, no, I was waiting for you to tell us what the correct place is because I might say St. Catherine's and you might.
And one more time. How you a professor, boy? You can't retain thing. I tell you, I grew up in Hillaby. My mother from Hillaby, my father from St. George, Jericho, St. George.
So you were born in Barbados?
I was born in Paget, Tunapuna.
Okay.
In the Twin Republic, actually in Tunapuna District Hospital. I don't think it's there anymore.
Okay, all right.
Get it straight.
What happened? You broke it down after you were born?
I don't know. Lana could tell you more about that. But on my birth paper, it said Tunapuna District Hospital.
Okay.
And the lady midwife that delivered me, Miss Corin, tell me about it.
Wait, that Tunapuna District Hospital. That's where you were born, or that's where they told you were born.
That is where I was born. Remember the guy that called in the show and said they put him to watch my mother in her last days before I was born.
Mm-hmm. What became of that guy? He's still watching your mother?
He's still alive. He's married down in I'm sure he's my god brother. His mother became my godmother.
So what kind of job is that to watch your mother?
Yeah, when a woman is about to give birth, you don't leave her running around by herself.
Oh, I see. I was saying
when the due date is close, she's usually with somebody.
Okay, now I see. I thought you were stalking her.
No, to keep an eye on her because we had no fancy system back in the day, so you had to get somebody quick.
I see.
I was born in Tunapuna. You don't get vexed because you born in that crazy tongue Port of Spain, General, eh?
Not even most people in Trinidad born.
I born in Tunapuna. I got Tunapunian.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm a Salibian. Oh,
I
know that song.
The hospital's still there. The hospital's still there.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Last time Lana could tell me more. I don't think so. I don't know. Unless Irina, I don't think so.
So after you were born, they destroyed it?
I don't know, Anselm. I even follow up on it. Remember, I left and then I came back at age 8 or 9. I didn't have to go up in that area until I was 14, 15. I had to walk to the market and come back with the basket. Man, the crab keep falling out the basket. One time a crab dropped down and nipped the ear. You won't let it go.
Wait. We used to go and get them crab?
In the Tunapuna market.
In the market? Okay.
I'd walk through the back. Through the back there was it was a park, the 3W's park, Warrell, Reeks and Walcott, and they had a clinic somewhere down behind there. So I'd walk through that road. I can't remember the road. It's just Streatham Lodge Road, something in the back there, and then walk and butt out back on Watt Street and come through the UE and go on home. I know up in the back there really well, but it get away from me, But if I had to traverse it by foot again, I'd probably, feel my way out.
You know who Warrell, Weeks and Walcott is?
Cricketers.
All right, yeah, but yeah. You know your Bajan history, but you know your Bajan history.
I'm a Trini history too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the park behind it. Tom, you ever heard about it? 3W's park?
Of course, I know about the 3W's.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give she credit, but she knows something about cricket, but.
Hello, let me tell you something. When back in the day, and the boys organized, boys in the district, St. Augustine, Curate, in the back there, organize a cricket match. And they want to make me last man to bat. I used to take the bat on the ball and climb a tree.
Oh,
So if I don't get to bat first, second, or third, ain't no match going on here. And
so
all
you
they
were
put, huh?
you were bullying them?
No, they want to put me as a girl because as a girl to put me to bat last, and I could bat better than a lot of them. I used to hit a lot of sixes and fours. So I took the ball, I took the bat in the class. I said, no, I batted first, second, or third. And all they putting me all the way, where you call that? Slip to feel no ball. Nope.
Well, if you can feel slip, you're good, you know.
Nope. I want to slip. I want.
Slip is one of the best positions.
It's a nice place to
You
be.
got to be running up and all the time.
No, not slip.
No, slip is.
Which one you want all the way out in the end?
You must be out in the cover. You must be out in the cover
Oh,
somewhere.
okay, well, okay. I didn't want that.
Slip is close to the bat.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, that's the position I want. I didn't want all the way out. It's not me. When the ball gone over in the canal, you got to jump over it. It's not me.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I bargain. I exercise my authority and garnered a good position. When they're playing football, I ain't playing no wing. No. I on the inside.
She was a Bajan even on the cricket field.
Bargain. I'm exercising my will to get the best position as a woman. You only want to give me a chance to bat. So hey.
But if you end up in the tree with the bat and the ball, right? You had to be a Bajan. Them days is Bajan, you know what I mean?
I'm a Bajan. I was the eldest of all of them. I was a girl too. But they didn't respect my sport ability. When we want to play, what do you call it? Tag race and relay. You know, you touch the person and you keep running. And I said, no, we're not doing that.
By the way,
That's correct. You was bullying them.
I was not bullying anybody. I was bargaining and exercising my autonomous right, my autocratic right to get a good position.
so
Well,
that's
you
how
know,
you bargain?
how do you bargain and take things away? I don't understand that.
Well, hey, I took the bat and the ball, so I had the power in my hand now.
That's not bargaining.
I had the power in my hand.
I don't know. I don't know how you describe that, but
I don't know how that is bargaining, but if
Well,
you,
if you have the gasoline and all the car ain't going nowhere, you in a better bargaining position. I just beat them to the punch because I knew what they were going to do. I took the bat and the ball quick.
all right. You had the gasoline.
even before the game start, the game
Even
didn't start yet.
before the game started, I had the bat and the ball. I secured the bat and the ball. Note, I said the word secure.
All
If
right,
you secure it and the game in play, you
Well,
secure.
hey, but I secured the bat and the ball, and I was securing a good a batting position.
So what would you do? You take the bat and ball away from who came?
No,
with?
I didn't take the bat and ball away from anyone. I knew where it was stored, and I just took it and climbed the tree.
Oh my goodness! But Buddy, last night at the commissioner's ball, as I woke up, there's a big mural up, and guess whose picture is on it?
Who?
Ryan Lara.
Buddy LeBon.
What?
Oh,
Where's them?
They had past honorees or honorees.
we ain't take a picture and send it to me.
I didn't even walk on my phone up there. 'Cause I was like,
And they put my picture up there.
nah, I didn't see your picture. So Buddy,
You
Griffith,
see? You
it's a
see?
mural they had a Buddy, George Griffith, Pastor
You see?
Ben.
You see all that discriminatory, but that's all right. Oh, you ain't bargain. You ain't bargain for my picture to go up there. Otherwise, I'm just an ordinary woman.
I was actually surprised. I said, "My goodness!" As I walk in, this is the first thing I'm seeing.
I thought, oh, but you see, he live in Jersey too, so it's obvious. Nadia, bad?
Yeah. Let me say welcome to Nadia. Nadia was, of course, Nadia is always the first in the village. Nadia, welcome. Nadia says good night. But you know something? I find something with Nadia now. You know.
What's you do?
Nadia just come and then go.
You have a right to be of free movement.
You know what
No.
you're saying? You know what you're saying?
Uh,
But you know what you're saying?
no, I know. No, but let me continue now. I know I want Nadia to continue to comment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to be involved because Nadia is one of the official mayors, the unofficial mayor of the village. You know.
I say that's a village sweetheart.
You know.
Number one village sweetheart because she comes in first and she floods the page with the chat with hearts.
One set of hearts, but yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, but well, Chiquisha does give you plenty hearts too, eh?
Yeah,
And then
Takisha.
there's some people who are just heartless, like Eiley. Eiley. Since Eiley in the program, I don't think he ever get one heart. And we have Ellis. Ellis heartless too. Ellis do give heart. But listen, even Albert Montano get hearts one time, you know. I know he had to give his son or his daughter the phone in order for him to put them hearts in.
Yeah.
Because
No, I think Albert knows what to do.
you feel so?
Yeah, man.
No. I don't feel Albert no about any hearts. Albert
mean,
no about emojis.
He's senior like us, but he knows a thing or two.
No, Tommy, I never said anything about senior. You're on your own. I just
Yeah, Tommy, you on your own. And I know geriatric either.
No, but I listen. I claim in that status, because I know it's an honor to make it to certain numbers,
No, I agree with you, but I don't want to put Albert in the kind of senior thing because he had to give his daughter or his son or his son-in-law or one of his grandkids for him to put a heart in the phone for him. You know what I mean?
Albert antique. Let's call it what it is. He antique.
No. I'm not going there.
Tommy is vintage.
You're on your own. Albert,
I say antique. Tommy vintage.
All you going. Like, I don't want nobody call me elderly.
And I use elderly over 60. That's where elderly.
I am not elderly. Elderly. I say, boss, you're on your own with that, No, not me. Elderly. No.
Me? I am experienced.
Yeah, me no elderly.
I think it's an honor to be up there.
But I'm experienced.
Tommy, I agree with that. But Tommy, let me give you a quick example. Like, when I go on a run in the world championships and I run against guys my age and I line up next to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of them does be like 200% gray. You understand? 200%. And I just cut off my hair because it's easier to maintain with a bald head. Not because, I have hair. I could grow a afro tomorrow.
And it's gray?
No. Some of it gray.
Okay.
Some of it gray. I don't use Just for Men. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Rogaine or whatever it is.
Yeah. Just for Men or Just for Women. Some women just use Just for Women.
I just use Just for Men to hide my gray in my head.
You just use Just for Men?
Yeah, and hide the gray in my head. It has worked well.
What is the purpose of trying to hide the gray in your head?
Because I personally do not like the salt and pepper look.
But isn't there a side effect from the chemical that goes into some of those things?
It does look. It does look untidy, uneven. So I'd rather be all gray or all black.
Watch. If I decide to grow here, whatever gray it have, that is it. I'm messing with Mother Nature.
Mine just grays in the front, a patch like how my hands are gray. I have a gray patch in the front like that.
But I remember in Trinidad, when we were young, some of us I used to dye my hair. When I was young, I used to dye my hair because, I had a bunch of patch of red hair. I don't get that. Yeah, patch of red hair.
I used to put highlights of blue or burgundy in my hair. Yeah. Blue and burgundy.
So Nadia says good night, and some good night. I get black, blue, green. Oh God, nice hearts there. Hearts, white and red. Then a heart with a thing at the bottom. Yeah, boy. Now they're sharing the wealth. He said good night, Tommy. Tommy get red, blue, red, green, red. Yeah, Tommy get all kind. Tommy get real colors there, boy.
Hey, Nadia, I thank you
Yeah, she only get Anna. Red. What is that next one there? That look like a heart with a stake through it. Nadia? What is that?
That was an arrow.
Oh, a arrow. What the arrow means?
I have no idea. Cupid shooting it.
Shooting an arrow.
Shooting an arrow?
Cupid.
Cupid?
Mm.
Nah, I
Is
don't
that
think.
is that an arrow? What is that?
Yeah, I think it's an arrow, man. Nadia, what is that?
It's an arrow.
That look like an arrow, yeah.
That means she zeroed right in on her love
What that
for
mean?
me.
What that means?
She zeroed in on her love
Arrow
for
in
me.
the heart, and then after the heart with the arrow, then there's something
Heart, another heart.
like a slash. There's a slash, a heart.
Yeah.
With a yellow ribbon around it. Harmony and peace.
No, I don't know yellow ribbon around it.
That's a yellow ribbon.
Which one?
You need to go and get back them shiny bootleg glasses.
There's red hearts, then there's red hearts with white in the middle.
It's a yellow or white ribbon. Ask the creator of the thing. Oh God.
What yellow in that?
You're looking yellow on my thing here. Huh?
Oh,
On
okay.
the phone.
Your be mobile phone said look at it looking yellow.
Oh,
But I know yellow.
I don't have B Mobile. I have Xfinity.
Sorry, digital. My bad. I apologize.
I have Xfinity.
Oh, Xfinity. Okay. Nadia says to Keisha good night. Judy, Lana, Rose, Denise G, Capiza, Miss Coover. Good night. Yeah, boy. Nadia in a real good mood tonight. But hey, look, Nadia even gave some emojis there too. Yes, boy. Albert, she got a last emoji there, boy.
Ken Troy, Hailey Ellis, Labor.
Yeah.
Funny.
Albert.
Good night, Albert.
All right, folks.
Nadia, your boyfriend in camp for the 4th of July weekend, because I have several functions to go to, cookouts and parties. I'm at one right now. He's in camp for the weekend.
Folks.
I hope they get some earplugs for him, because when they started to bust some of that firework, they'll drive them
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, they take care of him.
All right, folks. You have long awaited for us.
Oh, Lord.
You want to know any? The man himself, Dr. Love, is in the house.
Oh.
Dr. Love says, good night, ladies and gents. Love in the house. Great love is all I bring.
What?
And as usually say, respect to the panel, Mr. Walls, Lady D, and Mr. Tommy.
Good respect to you too, Dr. Love. And let's hear Diana's prescription tonight.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Let me see. Sending out Supreme, Extreme, live stream love to all the ladies, but in man live streaming is love, no? You know, live stream, Diana again, it live on the rec.
Yeah.
Live on the rec. Here we go. Diana, I gave you the best, but that wasn't good enough. Getting through to you sometimes seems a bit rough. But that won't stop me. I have fought many battles.
Achoo!
Just the thought of you make my spine shiver like a snake.
Take that. That's your prescription tonight, Diana.
Oh, God! Just the thought of you make my spine shiver like a snake that rattle. But listen, all right, if that's not enough, here we go. We're going on.
Take that one to the pharmacy. That's prescription 1.
Yeah, that prescription number 1. That first prescription. Right? That one only have 1 pill in it. That's a prescription with 1 tablet. Here we go. Well, you know I have a big appetite. Many things I love to eat and bite. One of my favorite dishes is tasty saltfish. You know I have a sweet tooth, and I want to see you in a back leather suit.
Santi Manite.
Auntie Manite. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Let me read that one again.
You better than Sparrow.
Well, you know I have a big appetite. Many things I love to eat and bite.
Mm.
My favorite dish is tasty saltfish. You know I have a sweet tooth. I want to see you in the black leather suit. Auntie Manite. Yeah, boy. Full 100. Full 100. You hit it out the park. I wonder if me and Jean could give you a poem too, boy. Let me see.
Ready?
Yeah.
Are you sounding like a Caracas cock on a Juve morning between 2 robbers?
What's that one again?
Oh gosh.
Like a what?
A Caracas cock on Juve morning between two robbers.
What's that Caracas cock?
I don't know how she know about a cock from Caracas.
Yeah, how do you know? How do you know? How you?
Go figure it out now. You a Trini, figure it out.
So wait, a Venezuelan come down from Caracas?
Figure it out.
That's what it is?
Figure out. Ask your PNM people what Caracas cock is.
Okay, I gotta find that out.
Let us come over on the boat too.
Yeah, look like it come down. It look like that it come down in the Caracas. That gotta come in the Caracas. Mean Gene, you know where's that Caracas cock? Mean Gene. Anybody in the chat know? Because I don't know. I surely don't know. I don't know. Mean Gene says good afternoon, Wall. Good evening, Wall Street, Tommy and Diana. Mean Gene wasn't in the last two shows, right?
We haven't seen him.
Yeah. I feel something going on with the phone too, you know.
Trinidad Margot.
Yeah.
Good night,
to you, Trinidad Margot.
Trinidad Margot would know. Tell them what Caracas cock is tonight.
Trinidad Margot, what is that Caracas cock?
On Juve morning.
Hey.
Good night again. Good night again, Nadia.
Diana Benskin, you're too bad. No, I don't know what it is.
Right?
Yeah, I want to know because.
Remember Slammer?
Slammer, who's that?
What Calypsonian Slammer? What do you saying? This monkey too bad. This monkey too bad. This monkey too bad. That is why I do not like him. Nobody remembers that.
No, I remember that one.
No, Tommy. That was a guy in his
in 1950s?
That was in the 1940s. Yeah, and a guy in his calypso.
No, that's Slammer. That was the name of the Calypsonian.
Slammer? Yeah, was it? A guy in the Trinidadian knows to pick them kind of name.
Yeah. Let me say welcome to our good friend Curtis Antonio Brady. Curtis, welcome. Welcome back into the village.
Welcome, Curtis.
Hi, Curtis, who we had here, and we're supposed to be doing something with Curtis. Curtis said the piano must go, Rowdy must go. We got just Dr. Chaos after the break. Nadia says, Tommy, yes, I believe so. What Nadia believe?
I have no idea.
Yeah, all right. So we gotta figure it out. All right, boy.
Nice.
All right.
Remember that message says Tommy, so I have to know what it is.
Oh.
So you know what it is then?
I guess it's coded. Not for you. It's not for you and Diana.
Okay.
Oh no! I tell her where Stormy is because she always asks me for him. So I let her know he's at camp with his girlfriend.
All right. I stay note at that. Curtis Antonio Brady says the government of Trinidad and Tobago received just over $2.3 billion in international funding for COVID management. Where was this money spent? April 2, 2020, US $400,000 from CAF, Development Bank of Latin America, 2.8 million TT. April 15, 2020, US $50 million from CAF, Development Bank of Latin America, 350 million TT. April 24, 2020, US $950,000 from CDC, United States, 6.7 million TTD. June 29, 2020, US $150 million from CAF, Development Bank of Latin America. That is what he wants to know where it's spent.
He's a UNC counselor.
He said, "This is like Curtis was in here, you know. That's Curtis was here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what the People's Partnership did with the money. 2010, 2015, settled 130 wage negotiation, 34 of which was left outstanding by the PNM. Settled 25 billion CLICO crisis, turning around a recession economy from negative 3.5% to positive 1% growth. Turn around the agriculture sector. Created the Children Life Fund, reduced poverty by 7%, created a single electronic window for ease of doing business, built the Coover Interchange, converted Chancery Lane office complex into a hospital. We will get that some in the next
teaching hospital.
Into a teaching hospital. Okay, there we go. Right? Okay. Ellis Laborde, welcome. Ellis said, Walls, you know I heartless. Nadia says yes. I guess she answering Tommy. Whatever that is. Yeah. Curtis O'Brady. Oh, Curtis O'Brady gained plenty emojis, boy. What? Look, what is that? Stars too? Hearts and stars.
Stars and spider.
Yeah, look. Ellis come. He still didn't give. He ain't even give one emoji yet. I don't think Ellis know emojis on his phone anyway.
I sent Ellis a video today. He wouldn't open it.
Yeah, Ellis says good night, Nadia, Rennie, Diana, Tommy, Takesha, Hailey, Rose. Yeah.
Good night, Sir Ellis.
Yeah, look, you see Ellis post it emoji less. I don't think he know how to give a emoji.
I think Capiza and Marcia drain him.
How they drain him?
They're all the back and forth in the chat room, the poor Ellis.
No. Diana, don't start me on.
Oh God.
Boy, please don't start me.
Back on all in that chat, I'd be like, oh Lord.
So what you got against my girl Marcia?
No, I don't have nothing against Marcia. All right. When we come back from the break, I want to address my friend Marcia Brave Boy.
Okay, good.
Because if we allow party for us to do things against our own people, then you have no moral authority to speak on certain situations.
I told Marcia already she's a very nice girl and I like her very much, but she's had to watch that alliance.
No, Tommy, I don't have a problem with her supporting whoever she wants to support her. She have a right to do that.
But
right?
you can't do blindly.
Oh yeah, you can't go blind and throw your people under the bus. You cannot do that.
You have to be objective.
You could do it, but you should suffer the consequences for it. Suffer the consequences. And Marcia did something, and she really and truly need to apologize to the people, the black people of Trinidad and Tobago, because it was unbecoming what she did. And I didn't really want to address it, I didn't want to really address it, but it's something that I felt it wasn't nice. It really wasn't nice.
Okay.
So, all right, we're going to go for a break right after this. Leon Adams, welcome. Will Gary Griffith be on a program tonight? No, he's not be on the Griffith, but we could call him. You just take we calls. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Tommy, Nadia was saying that's what you said about your age.
Yes, Nadia. I don't hide that, and I ain't running from it. I embrace it.
So Nadia says I'm not seeing everyone's age, everyone's name. I'm not seeing everyone's names. And Denise G, welcome. So folks, stick and stay. We're gonna go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. It's Diana, Ansem, Tommy, and you in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite on background showed he was with DAC. Hector McLean, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka sing, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
Back with you. It's with the DAT Triplets. All right.
Doobie die. I like when
Dubai. We are back with you. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets at WZYE 95.9 FM. We come there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Now, you know, we have all these back and forth with Dr. Chaos and Gary Griffith, right? And it just strikes me that how come there are so many people calling out Dr. Chaos and calling him a liar? Why is it that so many people in Trinidad and Tobago, and these are people in high positions in Trinidad and Tobago, calling Dr. Chaos a liar? I mean, is it that they are attacking him unfairly? Or is it that there are too many times that when he speaks, he lies and then he doesn't remember his lies? Guys, help me with that.
I don't know.
What does it?
I don't know.
God. My mother-in-law says a liar has no memory.
Right.
I think he's trying to create a doubt in the voters' minds. A professor in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm not going to call their name, told me that Dr. Rowley is a very astute individual.
Oh, he's very astute. He's astute. Yep. I agree with that. I fully agree with that. If people don't want to believe that, then either you're too long under the red rock or you're too long under the yellow rock. One or the other.
Very clever.
You're drinking too much juice or you're drinking too much red shandy. One or the other.
Yep.
But I want to believe that the sheriff, I used to call him when he was commissioner, the new sheriff in town, Gary Griffith, have something that Dr. Chaos that gets under Dr. Chaos' skin. Because very rarely do we hear him, unless it's an election in Tobago, talking about Duke. Also, the transformational leader in Tobago gets under his skin as well. Anybody that can take him on head on, he's not accustomed to that. Remember, he is the easy puppet master in the PNM. He pulls all the strings, you know, he does everything.
Maybe those are the things. Remember, what's his name? Manning warned you guys about him. Maybe those are the bully tactics. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna go to our next video there, but let me see if I had that one there. Let me see if I had that.
I don't like my prime minister. I want to leave the man alone. He's stressed out.
We don't like him.
Stressed out.
Listen, we don't like him. We love him. Except
the man stressed out. Oh God, give him a break now.
Anyway.
Well, hold on. All right, here it is.
It is not prepared to accept. That is what it was. We just were not prepared to accept that. And Mr. Speaker, you don't know the trouble I see. You don't know the trouble I see. I have had to live with that for 12 years. When you can't have your way, and when he cannot have his way, Mr. Speaker, his method is to bully. That's what it is. His method is to bully you. That is what I fought against. That is why his influence was terminated. Mr. Speaker, we do not tolerate bullying in the secondary school system. We're not tolerating bullying in the cabinet. We're not tolerating it. And if the member for Digo Martin West
which is a cabinet in which bullying is the order of the day. He's going to have to form that cabinet himself. It ain't going to happen in this one. It's not going to happen. He must learn to behave. I don't know if the member realizes it. That when you carry on with hate that you have, it impairs your judgment. That is what it does. And therefore your prescriptions are not straight.
Did she assure you of her innocence?
What do you think she told me? What we talked about? Her guilt? Are you implying that she told me yes, she was guilty of taking public money? I told her yes, as a premier. Is that what you're saying? Are you implying that she told me about her guilt and I covered it up? I am asking you a question. That question you just asked me, whether she pled her innocence, are you implying that she did otherwise and I covered it up?
I mean, fact don't lie.
Man, the man must be stressed out dealing with the UNC, dealing with all the merit lists. Now you gotta deal with today. Oh God, give him a break now.
I want to say to people that you see, facts is a stubborn thing, very stubborn, and it is difficult when you put facts on the table. And
you are listening to WZYE.
Let's listen to this video, and I'm gonna come back to something what Socrates says. Let's listen to this video. Take a listen.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has accused former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith of changing the policy on firearms users licenses on his own to give people assault weapons and an endless supply of ammunition. All of this, the Prime Minister says, unknown to the government. At a PNM public meeting in St. James, Dr. Rowley urged people not to vote for Griffith's NTA in the local government elections. WZYE Rupnarine has the story.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley rebukes former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith and his newly formed political party, the National Transformation Alliance.
This election, where there's a party called NTA, you know, I'm told that the SCA results coming out next week, sometime next week. Anyway, I hope you all should handle SCA exam. N is not, T is that, and a dash. You can fill it in as you require.
Whoa!
No, listen, right? We have Pekong, right? Could we call this Pekong? Could we call it Pekong? Right?
You see where Pekong get a social media person.
So what happens if Kamala Prasad-Bissessar goes on a platform and calls somebody negative, derogatory things they talk about the PNM? How about that? You as the Prime Minister, what do you say again, Tommy? Help me. What do you say about the words?
Be impeccable.
And is this the behavior? And that's why he's Dr. Chaos. That's why he's Dr. Chaos. Is this the behavior of a person who's a prime minister of a country? You talk about not that. Everybody know what the A stands. What
he's implying it stands for. Well, people could take the PNM and switch it persecuted and wherever.
Different things.
Come on.
Different things. So that's what I'm telling you, he's Dr. Chaos. He creates chaos for himself and the party. You know, I mean, listen, and boy, people so gullible in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. What about the storm that just happened in Trinidad and the roof that blew off up in Chumaka, Clavanti? Why don't talk to them people about that? Why don't talk about all the floods in Port of Spain? Why don't talk about the floods in all parts of Trinidad and Tobago
and the roads
and the difficulties they are facing? You come on a platform to talk about people. What does NTA stand for? And people falling for that.
Yep.
You know that. But what he's actually doing is giving NTA more strength.
Yeah.
Correct. No, all of a sudden, Gary Griffith is occupying rent in his brains. Gary Griffith is renting
It's renting space in his brain.
brains. He renting space.
That's how powerful he is.
Anytime you get on a platform, right? I do Miss Kamala Prasad business, I feel good. Because now Gary Griffith is renting space in the Prime Minister brains. Right? In order for you to be making that type of statement. But let's continue to listen to what he has to say. Let's continue to listen.
I'm coming.
He says he's constrained by the court in sharing what he knows about the Justice Stanley John report into the issuance of firearm users licenses by the TTPS. But he wants the public to ask this.
What is it in those reports or that report that I know, that he knows, that he doesn't want you to know? Just ask.
But wait now. Isn't it the same guy who does take people to court too as well? Don't you have a right in Trinidad and Tobago? You're right that if you believe, right, somebody's trying to slander your name, you take them to court and let the court decide? I thought that was a democracy. So you want to read into it, you try, and the fella is clever. The fella is astute, Diana. You are absolutely correct. People want to believe it. But the man is astute, right? He talking about a report. Why they want report release? Because you have a right to go to the court and let the court decide. It's just as how they went to court, they bring legislature, they change the local government election, they postponed it for a year, right? They made a decision, right? People took it to the Privy Council and they lost. That is what a representative democracy is about. You have a right to go to the court and let the court decide. You guys can judge, jury, and deciding everything for the country. That's why people go to the polls and they vote for people. Right? You got to come back to them and say, well, listen, this is what we want to do. What do you guys think? But no, you guys want to take it upon yourself. Right? Let me continue to listen to this, to Dr. Chaos. Go ahead, Dr. Chaos.
Ask yourself that.
Go ahead.
It has to be, it ain't nothing good. What is it? And I am now, as Prime Minister of this country, injuncted by the court to not tell the Parliament where there is danger.
The PM raises red flags over the accommodation between the NTA and the UNC, further criticizing the opposition's proposed stand your ground laws.
That is a policy that is simply saying a dog whistle, that they're going to give people of a certain race guns to shoot people of another race because they are saying that the crime in this country, which we know is across the board, is one race attacking another race.
Quoting words from the Justice.
No.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Race baiting.
Huh?
Race baiting.
Oh, Lord.
That's race baiting. Absolutely race baiting.
Oh, Lord.
Because he didn't put any facts on the table. Go and give people some evidence. Yes, in this country, I am against stand your ground laws. I'm going to let it be known. I'm totally against stand your ground laws because of what happened in this country. But you see,
we have proof.
We have proof. Exactly, Tommy. We have proof. But you see what Dr. Chaos doing there? You see that race baiting? And I'm gonna pen a letter to the editor with regard to this race baiting by Dr. Chaos. It's unacceptable. And we have to call it out.
We could clearly see that it's desperate times. So desperate measures are being employed.
And you're race baiting. Right? Say, come out and say, listen, in the United States of America, right, stand your ground laws can affect black people in a certain way. Right? Here is the evidence. Here is the facts. But you ain't come with no facts. Again, the spaghetti theory. You're throwing it up on the wall and you're seeing what goes stick. Yeah. And that type of race baiting is unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
In desperation, these things happen, eh?
So Tommy, you think it's okay for him to be desperate? Is that what you're saying?
I think any sensible person listening will realize that it's desperation that has set in here. Because first to begin, NTA and to analyze it the way he analyzes it, so that he's very concerned about the impact that NTA is making on the landscape.
Yeah, but Tommy,
yes,
we cannot go into that fella brain and try to figure him out, you know.
We're not going to figure him out. We're just going to analyze what comes out of his mouth.
Exactly. We're going to analyze what comes out of his mouth. Because and hear what people just say, oh God, my prime minister, but you just go up there with no paper and just reading. But listen to this, when he want drama, when he wants to create, he come up there with a book and he open the book. Oh, let's see this book. You see the page? Look, all them thing in the book, all them thing in this. Look at here. Drama. You want to create drama? Look, he just come up there. But everywhere, oh God, my prime. And by the way, Tommy and Diana, when somebody say my prime minister, what do they mean by that?
Mean that they support him.
Oh, that's what they mean?
Well, I say my prime minister because he's the prime minister of the country I was born in. That's what I mean. Mia Motley is also my prime minister.
I guess he's everybody's prime minister when you really
Tommy, that's exactly what I think. I thought it was everybody's prime minister. My prime minister to me sound like, well, I support in that party and he's my prime minister.
You know.
We know he's everybody's prime minister. He's the prime minister. But when people say my, that means that they're in full support of what he says and what he does.
All right. That's what it means. Okay.
That's what you interpreted to me. As I said, I interpreted to be a patriotic to me. I call it my. I don't say my president. I don't know why. I would say the president.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta see if you vote for him or not. You said the president.
Yeah, the president. But because we come from such a small society, I usually say my prime minister Motley or my prime minister Rowley because he's the prime minister of the country I was born in.
I've known Trump supporters to say Trump is my president.
My president, yeah. Well, them is a bunch of fanatics. So.
But that's what I think. I think the same thing. I think people saying my prime minister because they are PNM and they're supporting him. So since they're supporting him, he's my prime minister.
He's the current prime minister of the country. And although I always say I may disagree with his policies, I will never disrespect him. But,
no, we don't disrespect him, but we have evidence to know that he's Dr. Chaos. I mean, I could give you facts why he's Dr. Chaos. For example, he came on a platform and said he wasn't closing down Petrochin. He closed down Petrochin. What did that cause? Chaos.
Oh, Lord.
He came on a platform and he gave you email gate, right, which was untrue. What did that cause? Chaos. He came on a platform and he said Wendell Motley was not on our board. And he appointed Wendell Motley to the board. What that caused? Chaos.
Speak drums. They tell the story. Speak drums.
He came and tell you that the corruption under Calder Hart was going to be the worst corruption in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Worse than Piarco Airport. What did it cause? Chaos.
Shut down the country.
Correct. He shut down the country. What did that cause?
Chaos.
There we go. And we could go on and on and on. And watch. He's talking about how he met with the THA chief. And the THA chief had to come, right, and correct the record. What did that cause?
Chaos.
All we speak here is truth to power.
Truth to power.
We are making up nothing.
I'm not good at making up stuff. I can't make it up. You may not like it, but it's the truth.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Because I ain't too politically astute, but you know what I think he's behaving that way. He's frightened because of what happened in Tobago. That they reject them to one, and he's afraid. He knows, and everybody knows. He knows that he steered the country throughout this a turbulent time. The pandemic, the crime rate. And he is the man at the helm. So he the one getting the licks with the balls back in the head, right? he getting hit for 6 all the time, and sometimes some of these things were out of his control. The pandemic was not, he didn't cause the pandemic, but because people suffered things because of the pandemic, they want somebody to blame. So who they gonna blame? Keith Christopher Rowley.
Okay.
So let's go back
to the tape,
to the videotape. Yeah.
Stanley John report, he calls the NTA manifesto a well-oiled criminal enterprise before producing and quoting a report.
No, you're a prime minister and you calling a party a well-oiled criminal enterprise, boy? That's where we going, boy. We going into the sub-basement, boy. We
desperation. I tell you, it's desperation that's create these kind of scenarios.
Boy, it's sad.
Report compiled by the current police commissioner.
Over 100 guns granted under the tenure of the three former police have been used.
Wait. Let me just correct something. Is he calling the police department a criminal enterprise or the NTA?
I don't know. Repeat.
I'm gonna go back on that.
He said it's three former police. I don't know.
Let's clarify.
Run it again.
Yeah, let's clarify that.
Guns to shoot people of another race because they are saying that the crime in this country, which we know is across the board, is one race attacking another race.
Quoting words from the Justice Stanley John report, he calls the NTA manifesto a well-oiled.
Whoa!
The NTA.
Whoa!
Well,
let's replay that again. Just
whoa!
Is one race attacking another race.
Quoting words from the Justice Stanley John report, he calls the NTA manifesto a well-oiled criminal enterprise.
That is the reporter's paraphrasing. Did we actually hear him say that?
This Justice Stanley John put out a document that says that.
Okay, all right.
I don't know. We need some clarification on that one. Because I'm hearing the NTA. Maybe that means something different in that report.
She says, quoting from Stanley John's report.
Let's go.
Stanley John probably didn't say the NTA. He probably said that anyway.
You don't know. See?
One race attacking another race.
Quoting words from the Justice Stanley John report, he calls the NTA manifesto a well-oiled criminal enterprise before producing and quoting a report compiled by the current police commissioner.
Over 100 guns granted under the tenure of the three former police have been used, not media, have been used to commit crimes of murder, robberies, and suicide.
Three former police commissioners. What do you mean?
Three former police. That we say.
Three former police. If it's guns issued by three former police, it had to be three former police commissioners.
I think maybe that's what we're talking about. Let's play that.
But I heard Gary say that if it's guns from the three former commissioners that they're talking about, that is incorrect.
Yeah,
anyway.
we're gonna go to Gary's rebuttal. But let's finish listening to this. Boy, this is
guns under the tenure of the three former police have been used.
Right, he said three former police. That should be three former police commissioner.
Okay.
Right? That's what he meant, right?
Okay, let's assume.
That's the only thing the only persons who could really grant FUL license.
Right.
Commissioners.
Right.
So three police can't grant FUL license.
Yeah, so whoever write this speech for him, the missed out commissioners.
Yeah, Bongo.
Yeah.
Or maybe he didn't read commissioner, either on purpose or accidentally.
He's very astute.
Not media have been used to commit crimes of murder, robberies, and suicide.
Anyway. You working?
30 guns so far, imported by authorized dealers, have ended in the hands of criminals.
The PM accuses Gary Griffith of attempting to militarize society with not just guns, but the importation of millions of rounds of ammunition annually, adding that Griffith had become a law unto himself.
He changed that policy. Give people the gun and give them an endless supply of ammunition. And once it gets out there, tells you nobody who got a firearm has ever committed a crime in this country. Right? But the policy has been changed by the Commissioner of Police. Because he thinks he's all powerful. I'm National Security Chairman. I wake up one morning and hear Louis Leeson complaining that they closed down Blanchisseur's police station. I said, but Louis always talk madness, craziness. But I check, Louis is not mad.
The Prime Minister later quoted from a Ministry of Finance report which accused the former top cop of abusing delegated authority by granting payments exceeding the allotted $1 million limit. Additionally, he says contracts for these agreements did not exist, that Griffith engaged in excessive cost hiring and enhanced salaries.
So he now remember he's the head of the national security. What happened when Brent Thomas situation?
Correct is right, Tommy. Correct is right. That's a different story. That's
he ceased to be the head of the national security for a moment.
Yeah, that's convenience.
But I have a question. I just want to understand.
We go play Gary Griffith next. Go ahead, Dan.
So you issue legal FULs, right? How does the Commissioner of Police guarantee that the person who was issued the legal FUL sell it to somebody, or it wasn't stolen from them, or you understand what I'm saying, or something more? You know what I'm saying?
There's no way you can
guarantee that. Huh?
There's no way you can guarantee it. However, whoever gets the arms, they're responsible for securing it.
Unless you put GPS in the gun.
People thief things, you know.
Yeah, but how you go control that? You can't control that.
You can't control it. But go ahead.
You can't control that
because somebody suggested that they're gonna put chips in guns to track them.
Yeah. That's what you have to do. Because if somebody break into your house and steal your gun, and it's a legal firearm, are you responsible that the person broke into your house?
You know, that's what I'm saying. So how it was committed by guns that are legal. How can he guarantee and ensure that law-abiding me get a gun and I lending it to me less nephew?
Huh? You steal it from you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. That would be a very minuscule percent if that ever happens. I don't think
things happen, man. You don't know this gun. You don't know.
I don't think people will lend their legal gun to someone.
All right, but I'm just going far out fetch, you know, and maybe it's stolen. I don't know. Maybe people parade as law abiding and they're not.
Let's listen to Gary Griffith.
Your lies and misinformation continued when you try to give the impression that millions of ammunition comes here and it is being taken and given to criminal elements. Every single round of ammunition given and issued to firearm dealers being imported is accounted for. What you fail to admit is the fact that we have seen lots of illegal firearms entering the country and you have done nothing about it because of your incompetence. Almost 100% of all murders committed by firearms over the last few years have been by illegal firearms. But you have done nothing about it. So because of your incompetence, you continue to put focus on legal firearms. It seems like you have an issue with law-abiding citizens trying to protect themselves. And that is your big hiccup. That's your big fight on Gary Griffith. 47 minutes to start a campaign, and that is what you speak about. And again, this is why the court decided to tell you, if it is you have any issue or any report, send it to the police. But you want, as I said, hire civilians, pay them big money, let them write a report of whatever they want, and then give it to you for you to read to discredit people, similar to what you did with Emailgate. The country did not buy into your lies, Keith Rowley. That is why, as I said, your own supporters last night started attacking you and heckling you because they're fed up of you, your arrogance, your attitude. And again, Keith Rowley, to speak about assault rifles, not one assault rifle has ever been issued to any law-abiding citizen. You are lying again, Keith Rowley. An assault rifle is an automatic weapon that can fire 35 rounds in 3 seconds. That has never been issued. So stop lying to the country, Keith Rowley, with your desperate attempt to give the impression that I was trying to militarize the country. When, as I said, 0.15% of the country were given firearms, 2,000 out of over 50,000 who applied. And again, to clarify the lies of Keith Rowley, similar to what he has done all the time, he then gives a report from the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance. Who runs the Ministry of Finance? The Minister of Finance. Who did the Minister of Finance hire to do his communication campaign and pay big taxpayers' money? Someone who I just took to court and had to apologize to me for lying about me. That is typical of this government. Hire people and they will lie about individuals to smear their character. So then similar, you go to the Ministry of Finance, get persons aligned to you who you're probably paying because they're in government to write a false report. This report about contracts, Keith Rowley, you are misleading the country again. If there was any questionable activity and anything would have been done, over 25 persons, civilians and police officers, have to go through due diligence to scrutinize these reports before it gets to me. So if anything is illegal, all of these individuals must be arrested and charged because they would have done something in an incorrect manner. But you know it wasn't done because it was a lie. Because to fool the country, if you rent a building for, say, $100,000, after 10 months, it's $1 million. Do you think it needed cabinet approval? No, Keith Rowley, that is not how it is done. The reason why we were able to do those things is because it was in a budget allocation approved by your government. That is why those things were approved. That is why those things were paid for. What you did not tell the country is your Minister of Finance reduced the police budget by over $240 million. Yet because I was able to stop overtime corruption and other acts of corruption by certain elements in the police service, I was able to save over $400 million annually, which is why the country never before saw so many vehicles, so many patrols, so many police officers being able to put so many things in place with technology to make Trinidad and Tobago safe. And that is why it was the safest Trinidad and Tobago was under my watch. And because of you, Keith Rowley, you caused that to turn around from the safest that the Trinidad and Tobago has seen and felt in 17 years to now having over 600 murders, and it's the worst Trinidad and Tobago has ever seen and felt in their history because of crime, thanks to you, and the bloodshed is flowing. So Keith Rowley, your desperation showed last night. You are worried, you are scared, and you realize that your time is coming to an end. It is Gary Griffith versus Keith Rowley. I ask the country to decide.
There you go. Folks, we're going to call the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley.
He ain't gonna answer your phone. Let me mute. Right ahead.
Oh, we had to be calling him. We go call him, then we go call Gary. We still go pick up the phone. You understand? We say Dr. Chaos versus Gary Griffith. So we had to call him, so we still go pick up the phone. So folks, we are calling the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
You think you're gonna see first a pink donkey?
Huh? If you what?
I think you're gonna see a pink donkey first.
Nah, you might pick up the phone. You never know, man.
You're very hopeful.
Fitzgerald Hines picked up, so.
Fitzgerald Hines pick up, man.
Dr. Keith Rowley ain't picking up your phone.
Why you think he ain't picking up?
If he pick up your phone, I go send you $100.
Nah, they got more than that. I cheap.
Wait, oh, you want me getting money? Go dance on a pole or something? I'm sending you a half.
I will dance on no pole. I will dance on no pole. Folks, we calling the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You have to have confidence that one of these days he will pick up. Let me try Gary Griffith.
I guess you ain't getting that $100.
That confidence, I know, but that confidence.
No, one of these days, I'm telling you, one of these days you go pick.
Maybe a night, not a day.
Huh?
Maybe one of these nights, not these days.
Maybe one of the nights, not the days.
True.
Yeah, he realized he's in trouble.
Mm.
Too many cons.
He doesn't want to hear from Wall Street.
No, he doesn't.
I think I'd have put my phone as where can I see the number? That's what
Yeah, spoof it and put Giselle Jackson. Hey, Diana, behave.
All right, we call Gary Griffith, see if he wants.
He's probably out campaigning. They're all out campaigning.
You have a cell phone?
No, it's campaign in full flight.
Yeah, that's spoof the phone and put Sharon Rowley.
No, I put Barack Obama. Because if I put Barack Obama, I might think it's Obama calling, right?
Oh yeah. You understand?
I'll put Joseph Biden.
Hey.
I will put Joe Biden. We call him Gary Griffith. Like Gary Griffith out campaigning.
Campaigning, probably.
I told you, they're all campaigning.
Yeah, I wonder if he must be talking to Dr. Chaos, boy.
He must be in the UNC camp.
Hey, let me call.
Not kid.
No, I want to call Philip Alexander.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what they call this in Trinidad? Silly season.
Who?
Silly season.
Silly season?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, Philip Alexander have never picked up the phone for us. Oh, look, he just responded it.
Who responded?
Gary.
You see? Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
Hold up. I'm sending him back.
Mm-hmm. He's the leader. Hey, hi, Lee. Why you leader answering, boy?
Ali Casta, we ain't calling leader.
Call Kamala Prasad, Mr. Sir.
Yeah, we'll call she. Hold on.
They're all campaigning. They have no time for.
Yeah.
You don't have no time for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Your leader ain't picking up, boy.
Wherever they are, it's loud. They talk.
They have no time for the citizens of. You better call me a Motley. She might answer.
We try, eh? You can't say we
didn't try.
We try. Gary Griffith responded or no? He said miss call. Yeah, miss if he miss.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll send him an email. So folks, let me play next. Let me just play next quick video here. So that's and the difference between what's going on now is that whenever the Prime Minister says something, Gary Griffith, I'll come up with something for Gary. Gary, I'll come up with something for you. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out a little bit more. The transformational leader in Tobago, boy, you firing. Let me go to our tape for the transformational leader firing, boy. You firing on all cylinders.
He's not quick to talk, which is kind of good in a way.
Yes. You're not quick to talk. He ain't go just run out and just run him out. You understand? Transformational leaders take the time. You know, they survey the situation and then they come out. But transactional leaders like Dr. Chaos.
Mash up.
Well, yeah, we talk to we talk about Dr. Mashup.
Hey, why you messing with my boy Juke? Leave him alone.
Yeah. Your partner, Dr. Mashup. We ain't talking about your partner, Dr. Mashup. But you know, we have to go to the chat. After this video, we're gonna go to the chat. Yep. So what it is now, finally, Dr. Chaos have competition. So you know, he just needs to come out on the platform and run him out. I don't know notes and I'm reading and all the rest of the PNM and HDD, hypocritical, deceitful, and disingenuous, coming back. My Prime Minister don't have no notes in front of him. You know, he could read it out notes. He's so bright, he don't need no notes, right? What? Because you know if you...
Now, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine is calling on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley to confirm that he contacted him to discuss the appointment of a new chief administrator for the Tobago House of Assembly. Now, Augustine's request is the latest in a fiery back and forth between the two leaders since Ethan John retired as the last chief administrator in May, and to date a successor has not been named. Farley was responding in the THA budget debate in the Assembly legislature until late last evening.
Clearly, I'm not mad. If you had written me and I had received this letter on March 3rd saying we need to consult, then there would be no need for me to write him on March 10th complaining and using such strong language. But more than that, where I have a serious concern, because in his latest diatribe, he's trying to proportion blame to the Public Service Commission.
In winding up the debate, Augustine had this parting shot for the Prime Minister.
If those documents are found, I will make it known to the public. But next week, I will give a fuller statement on the matter. And I hope the Prime Minister is a man to his word. Because he placed his own office on the line over this matter.
Folks, let's try Gary Griffith again.
Bacchanal.
Bacchanal and tongue, boy. Bacchanal.
He placed his office on the line over this matter.
Yep. He said he want to resign. Dr. Chaos again. Huh? We go see. We go see when all the evidence come out. If he's a man of his word. We go see. I think Gary going back in the penthouse.
If you feel.
He's in campaign mode this Saturday night, you know. You have a lot of air space.
No, I tell him I'm calling on the air. He didn't answer. Let me tell him to call me. Okay, hold on. What you say?
But sorry, we keep missing each other. Just on another call.
I'm gonna say call me now. We on here. All right, let me call him back. Hold on, let me call him back. It's ringing now. Mr. Gary Griffith, welcome to WZYE 95.9 FM. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, fine, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. You sound like you're tired, man. What happened?
Oh, I was walking with candidates for the last about 6-7 hours today.
Okay, what constituency you guys worked in?
In the Diego Martin area for about three different candidates I was working with in the Diego Martin constituency. Okay. Yeah, sorry, the corporation.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. So we see, we don't want to keep you long because we know you're busy. We see your rebuttal to what Dr. Chaos said about you know who Dr. Chaos is, right?
I guess Skitos.
Oh no!
Oh God! Yes.
Well, you know, this is really serious. You know, when we have a person who is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, and you're going on the platform and you are telling blatant lies, and other people then will take up your lies and start to run with it. You know, I mean, that is so unbecoming of a Prime Minister. What do you say?
Yeah, well, I think it's more unfortunate than anything else. I mean, anybody, I would be seeing him in court because he has now accused me of being in charge of a well-oiled criminal industry.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I'll be getting my letter on Monday.
So wait, he getting a pre-action protocol? He getting a pre-action protocol?
Oh yeah, that's coming. And this will be the fourth matter in court that I will have with him. And it will continue, and I have been winning the cases with him, as you would have seen. I think it's unfortunate, though, that a Prime Minister will resort to something like this. He cannot get any lower than that. If he goes any lower, he will find oil. He is really going as it is classless. It is unfortunate. When you start your political campaign for an election, and that's what that meeting, that was the first meeting, because after candidates are nominated, that's when the race is off.
and you start your political campaign by referring to another political party by saying, not that's A. What do you say about any single parent who has a child, any young man or woman listen to him, any elderly person? Why would you vote for somebody like that just by that action alone? And then you spend 47 minutes out of 55 spitting lie after lie after lie about me, because I have all the information there to show that what you were saying was totally false and misleading. And then instead of speaking about what you would have achieved as to why people must vote for you back in local government, he did nothing. What he did was to spit hate, and worse yet, the comments he made was tantamount to even calling for a civil war. He was basically race baiting to draw a line to split the country in two that can cause hatred, division, if not violence. He has now become a threat to national security with that type of attitude. In most other countries, a prime minister operates like that. Action will be taken. And then when he makes the comment to say that he's the only prime minister in Commonwealth that has been stopped from making comments in parliament by the court, it is because of his irresponsible behaviors, not because the other prime ministers in Commonwealth are responsible. You hired people, pay them big money, let them do an investigation to probably put what you want in the report, and then after you want to go in parliament to hide like a coward to discredit me, because the one place you could lie and not be sued is in parliament.
So Gary, I just want to be sure of something. Did he say, he said something about he said the Stanley John report, and then he said something about the NTA as a criminal something. Is that something in the Stanley John report, or did he speak in a NTA?
Yeah. No, well, that is what he did. He is trying to, Stanley John is one retiree who has no investigative power. When Rowley talks his nonsense, the man is a judge. He's a judge. A judge is someone who gets information and ascertains it to give a ruling. He has no training in investigation. He's not an investigator. He's not a police officer. So what this joker did is that people came and told him, boy, I hear so-and-so. And, you know, it came to me so-and-so, and it reported so-and-so, and somebody tell me so-and-so. And this joker puts that in his report, which is why when he says the police service, the firearm department was a massive, well-oiled criminal industry. Note, 2 years later, how could something be such a massive, well-oiled criminal industry and not one person has even been questioned for money laundering, white-collar crime, bribery, or corruption? So it was a lie. And what is sad is that if he knew about that, how come he didn't report it to the police for the police to investigate to have someone arrested? So, but again, guess who selected Stanley John? Bliss Prasad immediately after she met with Keith Rowley. This was the same Stanley John that Rowley also appointed to investigate the matter with the AG's office with the files being misplaced. So we know where Stanley John is. We know that Keith Rowley, that the state pays Stanley John well. And when you cannot pay somebody as a politician and to let them write a report, and then when they make up a statement, you come in public and say, look what this man said, and expect the public to believe Stanley John. Stanley John has misled the country. And, you know, strange enough, up to now, that statement about a well-oiled criminal industry, it is Dennis Wren who said that, because people have even seen that report. So for all we know, Keith Rowley or Dennis Wren or Stanley John, any one of them could be lying. So it is very unfortunate. And then for him to come now and cast aspersions on the NTA because of the lies and the lies of Stanley John. Stanley John is not a police officer. He's not an investigator. He has no authority to investigate. Just like the audit committee, where you hire 3 retirees to do an audit in the firearms department, because Keith Rowley believes, as a dictator that he is, he could hire anybody, have them investigate, have them do a report, and then read it out to say, look what I heard about these people. That is the Keith Rowley. That is all the PNM government is good for, to lie about your political opponents in the hope that people will believe it. They did not. That is why people in his own meeting, PNM people, started shouting, protesting, and calling him a liar. And he never expected to experience that in his life. So when he said that other political parties have come into the PNM meeting to cause problems, had that happened, understand, everybody has a phone. It would have been recorded. They would have seen the faces. These were PNM people in PNM jerseys that said, look, brother, we're getting fed up with you now. Even though we are PNM, you're talking nonsense. The country is not buying into the fact that what he has done is he has tried to divide the country, race bait, and because of that, this man is a threat to national security.
You know, I gotta say, we just played that thing there where you talking about the race and you stand your ground. You know, I'm against stand your ground because we in America look at stand your ground differently, right?
Yeah.
But for a prime minister to get on a platform and belt out what he belt out, we who live in this country, three of us here who live in this country, know that that is race baiting and it's unacceptable for a prime minister of a country, right? If he had done something like that in America here, boy, people would be marching on the White House yesterday.
Exactly.
They would have been marching on the White House. Because that behavior is unacceptable in a country of 1.4 million people.
And what has happened? The good news for you all up there is that only the diehard, the PNM till they die, is going to buy into this, and that is what tripped him. I am inside his head. He is mortified. He is nervous because he has realized now this is all about Gary versus Keith Rowley, and because of that, he understands that a chunk of the PNM voters are fed up. They've had enough. And they want him removed. It's not that they don't like the PNM. It is the RPNM that they have a problem with.
Full 100. You are absolutely correct. And I say that over and over. The PNM, the UNC, and other parties are there to stay in Trinidad. But under the RPNM, right? They don't want the RPNM.
That's it, And what is going to happen on August the 14th, they're going to send a loud and clear message to him. Enough.
But Gary, I see you on Philip. It cool down now, or it cool down? Eh?
No, well, there was never any love lost. Is that I don't speak about any other political party because I am not here to replace Philip Alexander and his party. What he does with his party, what he says is his business. You notice I don't ever comment about him. My focus is that I want to get in government and worst case scenario opposition. But it is government, so my focus is on getting in government. If you're a political party that you're not in government or in opposition, but he spends 9 out of 10 times speaking about another political party that is not in government or opposition, he needs to get his head examined. You're spending all your time talking about me. It looks like he's looking to replace Gary Griffith. No, you want to get in government, and he says less about Rowley and the PNM than about me. So I don't know, somebody might need to tell him that I'm happily married because it seems that this man has a serious tobacco over me.
You have a crush?
Oh, no. I have never seen
on a lighter note.
Spend so much time speaking about a political leader of another party that is not in government or opposition. So your focus is on another party that is not even in government or opposition. And going back to, so that's the end. I have nothing more to say about Philip Alexander. He let him continue saying what he wants. It seems that he has a little banker with me. What is important is that a man who leads a political party that is almost 70 years old, in his first political meeting in a national election, spends 47 or 55 minutes speaking about a leader of another political party that is less than a year old. That says a lot. It means that he understands there's a clear and present danger, and that what Gary Griffith and the NTA brings to the table is an option for many persons who probably do not want to be members of the UNC, or it would have been the PNM, and they want to come somewhere else. And it seems that the polls he's picking up is showing that. And that is what it is that caused him to get that meltdown in St. James on Wednesday night.
Tommy, you wanted to say something?
No, I wanted to ask Gary how he believes that his party is performing, or what kind of forecast you're looking at for your party at this particular time.
Well, there was a scientific poll that we have seen. Yes, there have been other polls with Inch and Ishmael and my on MYOB, which is a primarily youth social media group. But a scientific poll that I have seen, it actually shows that with the combination of the NTA with the UNC, it is going to overwhelm the PNM. And that's all I will say for now. And it is almost identical to the polls that we would have seen in 2007, where the Congress of the People was going on its own. So if people were asked, who do you want to as Prime Minister, which party would you support? So it had the PNM, UNC, COP, and then going down the line had other parties with numbers below 2% and so forth. But with the PNM, with the UNC and the NTA. Sorry, the NTA and the UNC joining the votes together, it was way above that of the PNM. So it seems that the pattern is still there. That third constituency of those floating voters, whether you call it ONR in 81, NAR in 91, COP in 2007, NT in 2023, the 150,000 plus, it's still there. They just wanted to have a home to have it reignited. I have now provided the key. I've opened the door, and they're coming in in droves.
You know, Gary, I wanted to address the issue with you joining up with the UNC, right? And there are some people who are lambasting you for joining up with the UNC. But this is the way I look at it, right? And but people say, how come all of a sudden I'm defending Gary? It's not that I'm defending Gary, right? This is what it is. I believe that if you want to criticize you for joining up with the UNC, you have to criticize other people who have, you know, leave the UNC, join the PNM, or people who have leave the PNM and join the UNC, right? Because to me, in a democracy, people are entitled to change parties if they want to change parties. People are entitled to merge with other parties if they want to merge with other parties. That's what a democracy is all about, right? I mean, last week, you could be talking bad about another person. If next week you think you want to join this party, for just as an example, Obika was talking rowdy bad on a platform back in April.
But that's okay.
You know, yeah. And he gone now on the same leader who he was talking about and telling him he should go to Guyana. You understand what I'm saying? So if they're gonna be critical, at least be factual and be fair. But you know, I think that in criticizing the union between the NTA and the UNC, I think people were somewhat unfair. And I guess that's par for the course in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, but let me clarify. 95% of the people who are upset are PNM supporters. They were never going to change in the first place. So now there's a 5% of those who are upset that would have been supportive of us. So now people who are PNM supporters or maybe upset with the PNM and joined us is because, but what they would like is they wanted a repeat of what happened in 1981, 1991, and 2007. The third party, let's call it the third party for now, they go alone. They call what you call splitting the votes. So in 1981, ONR got 91,000 votes, and it caused PNM to win, I think, 24-12. In 1991, NAR went on their own, 127,000 votes, no seats, and PNM won easily. In 2007, the COP got 147,000 votes. The UNC got 197,000 votes. It was UNC got 15 or 16 odd seats. And so that is what many people wanted. I am a strategist. I am very tactical. My military training gives me the opportunity to do a proper clinical analysis of certain things. So when people also ask, how could he want to be a leader when he is military? Guess what? 31 of the 45 US presidents, guess what was their career? The military. And there's a proper possibility, there's a reason for that, because we have a type of way where we analyze things in a different manner. I'm not saying we are better than anyone else, but a military person, I am allowed now to look at different things from a proper systematic way to ensure success. I know what is going to cause success. Every single time there's been a proper coalition in Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM will lose. 1986 with the that's 1995 when the UNC joined with A&R Robinson, 2010 with the People's Partnership, general election, 2010 local government. The 4 national elections that there was a proper coalition, PNM, they were annihilated.
You are listening to WZYE LP.
Gary, hold 1 minute.
Just hold 1 minute. Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Every other election without a coalition, the PNM has won. Everyone. The only once any other party went on their own and they defeated the PNM, and that lasted a few months. The government collapsed. So the maths is there. So to the people in that 150,000, if you want Gary Griffith to be back in a position of authority to serve you, to reduce crime, to use his same type of principles and management to transform every arm of the public service as I did with the police service, well, then the only opportunity for us to do that is a coalition. And coalitions there have been over 80 odd countries in the world had coalition governments, past and present, over 30 in Europe. a dozen in Africa, Asia, and the Americas. So coalitions is not anything out of the ordinary. In fact, a coalition government can very well put checks and balances to avoid democratic dictatorship, because sometimes you have one individual who may be in full control, can intimidate people, can have people fearful. Oh, by the way, that's what's happening right now in Trinidad and Tobago in this government. And that is where the difference is of a government to a coalition. So I am fully aware of what is required. The people who are upset, anybody who is upset for what I have done, they are basically stating is that I prefer for Keith Rowley, PNM, to remain in government. If you do not want them to be in government, then this coalition must exist.
Now, Gary, there are some people, right, who may say that we believe that Gary Griffith was well suited to be Commissioner of Police, and there was a different air in Trinidad and Tobago when Gary Griffith was Commissioner of Police. And there are some saying that they are wondering whether your type of leadership style, if it's suited to be a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. What do you say?
Well, again, as I just mentioned, that was the perfect opportunity. I don't know what it is what is the style for a Prime Minister? A Prime Minister is somebody who is willing to serve, who is willing to probably give his life for his country, take a bullet for a stranger. And that's why it is I mentioned. The United States, you all had 45 US presidents, 31 had military service. And there was a reason for that. A military officer has a lot of quality traits, from service, humility, making the ultimate sacrifice. Above all, that word called patriotism. And those are the character traits that are required. Look at so myself, I have the character traits that you would have seen as a Minister of National Security and a Commissioner of Police. Let's look at Keith Rowley. What are his character traits and what are his qualifications to be eligible to be a Prime Minister? The man's qualification is to examine stones and to see if it's sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic. He's a geologist. So the concept is, how does that person have the ability to transform a country, to unite a country, to get a country to believe in the service that is supposed to be provided for them? And that's what I did as Commissioner of Police. The police service, it was the lowest number in confidence and trust that the public had in any arm in the public service, 14% when I took over in 2018. When I left in 2021, it went to 55%. It became one of the highest in public trust and confidence. And there's a reason for that. It wasn't about me being a police officer. I was never a police officer. So the same way I was able to transform the police service to optimum level that the country said, and you started hearing Leon Sharon saying, I want to be a police officer. I will do the same for health, education, the economy, roads, drainage. The arms of the public service will be transformed in the same way by me using the principles of good leadership, good management, measurement of performance, and accountability. Those 4 principles is what I use to transform the police service, and I promise that I will use that same thing to transform the rest of the country.
And last thing before you go, is this merger or coalition gonna last in 2025 as well?
And that's a very good question. What happened in 2010 to 2015? And people try to blame the UNC. It's not the UNC. My concept is, if it is that the Congress of the People hierarchy at the time did not do what was required, which is communication. And that is what I intend to ensure, that there's proper communication, there's dialogue, there's mutual respect. Certain things that would not or may not have taken place. And that's no fault of Kamala Prasad-Bissaso. I will communicate with her. I will have proper dialogue. I will make sure that those 150 to 200,000 third constituency voters will be properly represented, and they will know that I didn't sell out. And in the same manner, we must have a degree of respect for the UNC. They have their 300,000 odd voters. When that comes together, the maths is there to see. So I give the assurance that I am a team player. I know how to make this thing work, and it is going to work, and we are going to get a good government to ensure. And probably 10 years from now, without the RPNM, there may be another PNM with new names, new persons, not being vindictive and arrogant, and PNM may be back in power in 2030 or 2035. But at this time, Rowley needs to go.
So we will be seeing this continued coalition of the UNC and NT and maybe other parties too in 2025 general election.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I've already started having talks with other political parties, because look at the name of this party. It is the National Transformation Alliance. It's an alliance not just of political parties, but minds, independent thinkers, to get the best of Trinidad and Tobago. What I want is not persons with an NTA party card in their back pocket. I do not care what political party you're from. when we get in government, I want to get the best persons available. Look at what's happening now. We have a Minister of Finance that is clueless when it comes to balancing a budget. We have a Minister of Sport who keeps boasting that she never played sport in her life. We have so many. We have a Minister of Communication who has never once communicated to the country in his 3 years as Minister of Communication. That is the type of incompetence that we have. And I intend to make sure I get the best minds available, regardless of your political affiliation, for us to have the best country.
Gary, we want to thank you so much for taking our call, man. Gary, like you and I becoming friends now, you know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Gary, we want to thank you so much, man. We appreciate it every time we call.
Mr. Griffith, I want somebody to deal with the girls and the women, you know, the distressed females. I need a job doing that.
You're asking for a job already, but we can talk that privately. Anyway.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah. So, Gary, we want to say thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate that whenever we call you, you know, unnoticed. We like to do that too, eh? We like you in where we could talk, but we like just pick up to see who people. And let me say one thing, Gary. Gary, I'm letting you know right now, right? Should you ever come into power, do not forget the people who get you there.
Yep.
We have a lot of politicians in Trinidad and Tobago. Just forget the people who've been walking with them, toiling with them in the vineyard, sleepless nights with them, and when they get into power, right? And you just want to call them to wish them a Merry Christmas. They don't pick up.
They don't pick up their phone.
And again, when I was Minister of National Security and Commissioner of Police, every person in the media could confirm I was the most accessible person, to the point I was crazy enough to give everybody my phone number, the 482 Gary, as a Commissioner of Police. Well, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I was getting calls. And that's what they forget.
WZYE.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. People put you there. They put you there to serve. It's not for you to disappear and then they cannot find you. So the same way that I said, that any media house will confirm that I continue to be the most accessible person. Every single message I get, every message, I will respond if it is that I missed the call or missed the message.
And guys, I can attest to his accessibility. I was seated in business class, and so was Mr. Griffith. I recognize him, and I wanted to speak with him, but I didn't encroach upon his space. And I sent a handwritten note to him via the air hostess, the stewardess, and she took it to him, and he responded to me in his flight. Okay? So he's very accessible. He's not stuck up and hoity-toity.
So, Mr. Griffith, we want to say thank you again. We appreciate you giving us your time.
Anytime.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
And good luck.
Yeah. So
boy, I'm trying to get the building back for you in Laventille.
Nah, don't worry yourself, man. Don't worry yourself. You're safe. You're safe. You see, folks, that is what we really about, is trying to, you know, you gotta kind of, you know what? Let me call Fali, man. I call him Fali.
Fali and Anthony phone.
Nah.
Fali in the kitchen making cake.
Eh?
Fali in the kitchen making cake.
I'm calling him. You will see. Maybe go pick up the phone. I know he's Sabbath though, but
It's after 6.
Nah, it's ringing.
Does Fali know your number?
Nah, you don't know my number.
Okay. You gotta call me Pastor Ben.
No, Pastor Ben's don't know my number.
Tell him to try to get
my number too.
Who just know your number?
Yeah, Diana friend know my number.
My friend?
Yeah. But are your friend? What wrong with that?
I have plenty friend, well.
Yeah. All right. It's Fali Sabbath. He ain't picking up. Is he Sabbath? So folks, all we have to say, right, is that all we try to do, and the thing I don't like is when people are hypocrites. I don't like that, when you're a hypocrite. If you want to criticize somebody, right, how you go criticize somebody that they go on and they join up with the UNC, and you had a UNC person who said the worst about Dr. Rowley, the worst. As a matter of fact, let me see if I get it. He said the worst about Dr. Rowley. And he tell Dr. Rowley go back to Guyana. right? And then the excuse they give me is that the man apologized. Okay, all right, so he apologized, but it doesn't take the fact that he said the worst about him, and that's what it is. You know. So Gypsy went from UNC to PNM to PNM to, I mean, all over the place. Isn't that part of politics? We had two councillors who went over to the PNM, right? And the PNM, you know what? Let me call Samuel Sanka. Hold on, let me call him. See if the PNM pick me. I want you to listen to this one. Listen to this one, eh? Listen to this. Hold on.
Sense of pride of being.
Hold on, eh? I want you all to listen to this. I'm gonna bring this up for you.
You call back another Shane.
Hold on. Let me bring this up for you. Hold on. Listen to this.
Trying to be right now, people are lining up to leave this country because there is no opportunity here. And when we raise that in the parliament, when MP Rodney Charles raised that in the parliament at Guyana, Barbados is doing better than we by miles. Instead of the Prime Minister acknowledging that he has work to do, he is saying, well, get the hell out of here. Go to Barbados. Go to Guyana. We are wanted here. Well, we want Keith Rowley out of government. That is what we want. Sense of pride of being in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, people are lining up to leave this country because there is no opportunity here. And when we raise that in the parliament, when MP Rodney Charles raised that in the parliament at Guyana, Barbados is doing better than we by miles. Instead of the Prime Minister acknowledging that he has work to do, he is saying, well, get the hell out of here. Go to Barbados. Go to Guyana. We are wanted here. Well, we want Keith Rowley out of government. That is what we...
Imagine
sure?
that?
He wasn't too sure.
Imagine that, right? And now he's a PNM sitting down with the same Prime Minister. And I have next one. I go have a next one. We talk about the minister.
But you say that is a democratic right to shift.
No, I don't have no problem with that. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that why it is not, if the NT want to line up with the UNC, why that's their democratic rights too. So if you want to criticize Gary Griffith or join up with the UNC, you should criticize Obika too. You should criticize Gypsy too. Right? Not that. You should criticize Andrew Gabriel too, because Andrew Gabriel was a UNC senator. And he's a main financer in PNM now. Eh? You should criticize them too. Right? So you want to selectively criticize people.
You think Chucky don't know what he's saying?
Tommy, thank you again. Let me play it again. Let me play it again. Let me play it again, Tommy.
Play it again, Sam.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-Las, Maraval and Saint-Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite young turn coat to UNC. And when Del Monte his background showed he was with DAC. Hector McLean, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka sing, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity, and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC.
Jubai. Yeah.
And then don't switch your day job.
Don't switch the day job. Okay, all right. All right, let me see. Let me see what Hailey had to say here. Hailey says, UNC always wanted Gary. So what? I don't understand why Gary started party. Obviously, Gary living about the grounds he gained. Gary not getting the numbers, reason why he joining UNC. Hailey, come on, man.
Oh, God.
Hailey, come on, Hailey. People merge. Yeah, the game credit. Man says they're strategists.
Most military people are.
Yeah, he's and the fella understands. And the big thing I get out of tonight is that this is not a short-term thing.
Nope.
It's a long-term thing. And I haven't heard anybody ask him that question before.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know if it's just a local government election thing. And when the general election come, they go back to normal.
And he recognized going alone is just splitting up and opening the path for who's to remain for the status quo to remain.
Correct is right. So the PNM had to fight, the PNM and the PEP and the other parties and the PDP had to fight them down in Port of Spain, right? You had to fight that. And to be honest with you, that is better for the NTA to fight down there.
Right.
And you know, and perhaps too, guys, you know, when we mentioned people coaliting, coming together, you know, there are some people were adamant, no, right? To me, it shows that they're not full of ego, like, yeah, NTA or no way, you know what I mean? They really have to me, I might be wrong, they really have a genuine interest in fixing the country. Because if you could, you know, drop your armor, you know, let go your ego, you know, and join with a party to try, you know what I mean, and out this burdensome one, seems as though they're, you know, that he really has the interest of the country at heart. And he didn't, when they ousted him as police commissioner, he didn't give up. He kept, you know, because he always said he wanted to serve Trinidad and Tobago. He kept going and he kept going. So, that's my opinion. I might be wrong.
We have to wait and see what comes out of this local government election. And, you know, so I asked a question, if commercial property tax is going to the corporations. And my friend on 91.9 told me that, yes, the commercial property tax is going to the corporations.
That's not what the finance minister said.
Well, Tommy, I just telling you what the fella say. Oh, you know what? All right, I gotta get more information on that, Tommy. That's what he said. He said.
I think the finance minister said all the corporations are going to be getting is the domestic, is the households.
Yeah, well, we did we play that here? Did we? I have to go back and look for it. But Tommy and Diana, you all know that people have been listening to us, you know. People have listened to us under the cover, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, who sang that song? Teddy Prendergast. Turn off the lights and below the sheets. He said, did he have something lying in there below the sheets?
No, he said turn off the lights and like a candle. He ain't said about me below no sheets.
No, between the sheets is Isley
Brothers.
Oh yeah. Tommy, thank you.
And in the closet is R. Kelly.
No. I want below the sheets. Well, how that one go? Below the sheets. How that one go?
Between the sheets. I know the song.
Oh, all
I don't
right.
think it's Isley Brothers thing.
Oh, okay.
I think that's Womack.
No. Womack
Yeah,
is
I will tell you in a minute. You all continue.
So Sheldon, welcome. Sheldon is a fella. I saw Sheldon from Trin, Jersey. Sheldon, just acknowledge if you're from Trin, Jersey. And you know, it's funny, when PNM people come in the village, they just come in with a bang and sometimes they leave with a whimper. You know what I mean? So Sheldon, I saw this is Sheldon from Trin, Jersey. I want to think, Sheldon, tell us, identify where you're from. Sheldon,
it's the Isley brother.
Nobody beating the PNM if they can change the outcome on the East-West corridor.
You might be right.
Nobody beating the PNM if they
They
can
can't
change the
change.
outcome on the East. I don't understand.
Maybe he meant to say can't change.
Can't.
Okay.
Because the East-West corridor is
right.
dedicated to PNM.
So, Tommy, you know, is this the same Sheldon? I want to think, you know. But
Probably.
Sheldon, just identify folks. Say hello to Sheldon. Say welcome to Sheldon in the village.
Molino?
Yeah.
I have a friend named Molino, but
I went to school with a fellow named Sheldon Seaburn. I don't know if it might be him.
No, he's Molino.
Oh, he's Molino. Okay.
Oh, Molino is French?
Yep.
Yeah.
But Othello looks like me and you. You know Othello?
Othello?
Yeah, the Panis.
No, I don't know. I thought you was talking about there was a person. Was he a painter? Was he a pianist? Something. That other one I was talking about.
From Trinidad?
No. You not from Trinidad. No. So always say hello to Sheldon.
Hello, Sheldon. Welcome to the village. Don't be afraid.
I tell all you that Sheldon from Trin, Jersey. You know, Sheldon Molino, our next PNM. Them PNM just come quick, you know.
Nothing wrong with that PNM.
No, but listen, as we said in the village, everyone is welcome. Don't care what party you support, right? And we deal with it respectfully. We may disagree with each other, but we disagree respectfully. But Tommy and Diana, I was saying that people are listening to us under the sheets. The brothers, right? Under the, whatever it is, under the sheets.
Between the sheets.
And go under the sheets. Is that how it goes?
Between the sheets.
You writing two songs, taking two to make one.
Okay.
You know, if I was your teacher, I'd pelt the dust at you every day. You know, you're not listening.
Oh God, you go pelt the dust there, huh?
Yep, and hit you in your head with it too.
What? Wow, boy. Ooh, Diana, boy. You a boss man?
And I'll pelt chalk at you too.
So listen to this, right? We talked about the situation that happened in Trinity College with respect to
the hairstyles.
The hairstyle, right? And we said that Hathaway's from Trinidad. Who's Hathaway? Who's Hathaway? He originally from Cedrus. So you from down by the sea, right?
Is the tip? It's going towards the carcass.
You're in the country. So he's a country person. Rajvi say Hathaway is from Trinidad. Who is Hathaway?
No idea.
I know Rajvi just come in. Rajvi, where is Hathaway? Sheldon says, I like the French Creole. No alliance to party. You just come in, but you talk about PNM and beating nobody. You're not PNM? Or you're afraid to say it's a PNM? Sheldon say he hit hard.
Get hard.
Ooh, Sheldon, how your head get hard? Yeah. Oh, Rajvi say, Hathaway sing What is Love?
Oh, yeah. Baby, don't. What is love?
What is love? Sheldon
yeah, that's a Trinidadian singer.
Baby, don't hurt me.
I found that out the other day.
Yeah, Sheldon say nobody beating the PNM if they can't change the outcome in the East-West corridor. But how you gonna know? How you gonna know if they unless they get elected? You gotta get elected to see if you can change it, right?
You gotta try, yeah.
You gotta get elected. Oh, you can't change it if you're not in power. Sheldon, what is that one, Sheldon? If you ain't get elected, how you know if they go change it? If you keep doing the same thing over and what is called insanity?
Right.
Doing the same thing over and over and expect to get different results.
But Gary may be able to take the West and Port of Spain proper, you know.
Well, listen to this, eh? I believe that as astute as Dr. Rowley is, he knew for a fact, he understands that Gary Griffith is a challenge.
Oh, yes.
I feel he understands that.
Yep.
And his modus operandi to continue to cause chaos is to attack Gary Griffith by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And if he had to lie to attack him, he go lie. And that's just what it is. But I was talking about the talk we were talking about Trinity. I want you all to listen to this. And look who's talking now. Watch this.
This conversation ought to have been going on a long time ago. And it is time that we engage in the conversation in a meaningful way, in a deep way, in an honest way. Speaking about preconceived biases, preconceived notions, remembering discipline. There's a reason why people go to school with a uniform, you know. But there's also a reason why people should be free to express themselves.
He's a member of Parliament, an attorney at law, and a proud black man. MP Keith Scotland has been rocking his natural hair for many years, and he believes it's his right to freedom of expression, a right that should be available to all.
Is it now that part of, as we aspire together, part of our wish and part of our modus operandi that we say persons who carry a certain hairstyle are offending rules? Or is it time now to look at those rules and amend the rules? Until the rules are amended, they remain the rules.
MP Scotland is calling for honest, sober conversation on the matter, with a view to striking an equitable balance.
We have to be honest about what we are facing. We have to look and see who were the persons who were debarred, because that speaks for itself. What we don't want to do in this country, my respectful view, is to gender and to put fire into any division based on race.
He labels the experience some Trinity Mocha graduates had as unfortunate, noting it's a day they can never get back. Would you want to offer your services to any of the parents of these students who feel aggrieved by that policy and actions that were taken?
The Legal Profession Act does not allow me to appear to be touting. I want to be cautious with this because I am pretty antiquated in the profession, so I need to be careful. The short answer is yes, actually. The short answer is yes, once it can have the matter resolved, but whatever happens, the matter needs to be resolved, and the issue needs to be resolved in a sober manner.
Meantime, in a statement dated June 30th, the governing body of Trinity College says the events of June 27th were, in the view of the college, an act of indiscipline by a few students, supported by some parents. The board says, while acknowledging the various perspectives and views surrounding the uniform policy, it stands firm that acceptable conduct dictates that existing rules and regulations must be followed until and unless they are altered or amended. The board says it stands willing to continue discussions with all stakeholders with a view to ventilating the issues and arriving at a solution ahead of the new academic year, which is consonant with good order and changing norms. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
So there you have it. We spoke about Scotland last time, and
or a combination of both.
We spoke about him
and Heinz
and
Leon.
right? So it was good that he came out and make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say this, and I like to look at the positivity of everything. But when you go back and speak to Dr. Chaos go tell him, boss, you see that? Leave that alone, eh?
Oh no.
What says you? Eh? You think you can represent them kids?
That's unfair what they did to them though. That's unfair, you know? Because they're not there. What is it about? What is it about the black hair, African hair that and while we're on the subject, one of the villagers confided in me, I'm not gonna call their name, that they were somewhere with their children and their children are Afro Trinidadian. And an Indian woman looked at one of their children and said, she had her hair comb out, you're having a bad hair day. And it upset the child. And so I don't know what it is about, natural hair. And I've experienced it in corporate America, and I ain't too happy. And my mouth is another problem too. But when you go with this Afro, they're worried. I don't know what they're worried about.
Well, we have to realize that the programming has taken place for quite a while, that anything that reflects Africa too much is a problem.
But Bo Derek had her hair braided in the movie 10. And it seems as though she gave the silent approval that, yeah, you can braid all your hair too. And it seemed to take off, although there were women braiding their hair before that, right? But Bo Derek in 10, the movie 10,
yes.
You notice after she came out with her cornrow hairstyle, a white girl, woo! It took off.
Because they started describing it as the Bo Derek look.
Yeah, see? Yeah. So I don't know what is about black hair that does worry people. That's my natural hair. And I could wear it up. It defies gravity. And I'll say, I too was somewhat confused back in the day, trying to put all kind of perm and to make it look like Rapunzel. Right? And then one day I say, you know what? You're putting this perm and only lasting 3 days because I was sweating my head a lot. Why doing that for? And I decided to rock. I have several driver's license photos. My afro. Rock my fro.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I don't know the problem. And twist and braids. That is just styling the hair. To me, the design, they styled it, and it looks clean and neat and presentable. They didn't come in.
Everything natural about Africa has been fought against. That's why they sell so much people. They sell so much bleach that people about bleaching their skins to lighten their complexion. People straighten their hair. Look, Madam C.J. Walker was the first millionaire woman.
Exactly, straightening their hair. Malcolm X did it for a while. And he came out of it, remember? And I don't know why is it they want to force us. Oh, no, let me say force. Brainwash you into believing that, you got to look like them, light skin and straight hair.
It's programming.
Nobody programming me. I African girl with natural hair, and this is the color of my skin. You don't like what you see, keep on trucking. You don't want to hire me? Now your business, your loss.
Because what I can do.
Go ahead, Tommy.
What I can do is I can divide you from yourself and I'll control you.
You ain't controlling me. That's why I went back to my afro, and I'm going to go do my hair like Justice Ketanji Brown in Sister Locks and confuse them some more.
Kudos to you, my dear.
So
I notice when I'm traveling, and I do my hair rasta like a dreadlock, they profile me. But if I see I put on the straight Rapunzel wig, they usher me through. It happens. Go with my twist. They're pulling me off the line and they're wiping my hand. They want to say that it's random. But I know it's not, because I pay attention. Every time I go through customs or go through the security line with my twisted hair, they want to pull me off the line and swipe my hand. I don't know what they're looking for.
and someone that looks like you is first to do it.
Thank you. I don't know what. And I said, "What are you looking for, ma'am?" "Oh no, you were chosen at random." I said, "Yeah, for them 40 people that went through there, and you picked me. What is this you're looking for?" And it's swiping your hand and swiping your suitcase and swiping. I wouldn't tell her on air what I told her in her ears. I hope she find it. But that's it.
So here is a student from Trinity Mocha responded to the situation. Let's take a listen.
Or a combination of both? It's the question being asked after a number of Trinity College Mocha graduates and initially denied the opportunity to cross the stage, allegedly because of their hairstyles. For at least one of them, the answer is clear.
I can't totally say that it wasn't discrimination because I felt discriminated. I did not feel like I was a part of the school that day. That day, I always thought of the school as a second family of sorts. But that day I felt betrayed, like they didn't want anything to do with me, like they were ashamed of me. I definitely felt discriminated against. So I can't totally say that it wasn't discrimination at all.
The young man, who asked to remain anonymous, says upon arriving at All Saints Church for the ceremony, was it bias, strict adherence to the rules, or a combination of both? It's the question being asked after a number of Trinity College Mocha graduates were segregated and initially denied the opportunity to cross the stage, allegedly because of their hairstyles. For at least one of them, the answer is clear.
I can't totally say that it wasn't discrimination because I felt discriminated. I did not feel like I was a part of the school that day. That day, I always thought of the school as a second family of sorts. But that day I felt betrayed, like they didn't want anything to do with me, like they were ashamed of me. I definitely felt discriminated against. So I can't totally say that it wasn't discrimination at all.
The young man, who asked to remain anonymous, says upon arriving at All Saints Church for the ceremony, a school official separated some of the students and ushered them through a side entrance. They were made to sit apart from the main congregation, but he says no explanation was given.
The form teacher began calling out names, and we realized that certain names were being withheld. Watching the pattern, the names that were not called were those whose hair were either long or plaited. The persons who were pulled aside were mostly of the black ethnicity. There was only one particular student who wasn't of the black ethnicity that was pulled aside.
How would you identify that person?
I would say that that person was of the white ethnicity.
Were there other students who were allowed to walk who also had long hair?
Yes, there was. Those persons were of the Indian ethnicity and also of the white ethnicity. I would not say that their hair was short in any regard.
But former head prefect Jovan Henry Ali says he is disheartened at what he sees as attempts by some to paint the school in a negative light. He tells TV6 that the boys and their parents were well aware of the rules and the potential consequences of infringements, which he says were not limited to hairstyles only, but also included shoes, belts, and other stipulations.
These boys who were not in compliance with the school rules with regards to hairstyles were told weeks in advance that if they don't cut their hair, they will not cross the stage on graduation, right? They've been also told and warned in advance for months that they must cut their hair. Now, you could argue about the school rules might be wrong, the school rules might be right, well, wrong, right, whatever. But the case is, rules are rules. You have to follow them. Alright? And it wasn't just, as she depicted from her photo, it wasn't just Afro-Trinidadians who were taken off from the main congregation. It had different races, it had other races as well. Right? So the whole racial implication that parent is making is completely untrue, and it cannot be supported by any facts.
But the former head boy acknowledges that the policy could and should be updated. Do you consider the rules to be inherently biased, discriminatory?
The rules itself in my opinion, they are not written in a way that showcases the cultural diversity at the college. Because in the rules itself, it has an acceptable section and an unacceptable section that showcases the different hairstyles. In none of those sections do we see plaits or cane roofs, right? I believe that's where the problem lies.
Attempts to get responses from the college and the Anglican board on the matter were unsuccessful, but we secured footage of the dean, the Right Reverend Shelley Antenia, as well as the principal, addressing the graduates on the issue yesterday.
And to the student who this morning said the words to me, "Miss, why am I cutting my hair for what day?" And my response to him was, "You were expected more than a year ago to address your hairstyle." You were supposed to address it a long time too. In terms of how you feel, but this, how you feel, I want you to multiply that by over a year, what we have been trying to address.
TV6 News understands that some parents and students began behaving in a so-called disruptive manner, prompting the dean to take the following stance.
And so I would like us, please, to behave like the adults that we would like our young people to become in a few years' time. Please. It's been an absolutely free country. And so if there are some adults here now who are unable to stay here respectfully, I understand. And if you feel like you cannot stay here and be respectful and participate amicably, you have a choice. There are three available exits.
TV6 News was informed that some students and parents opted to leave. However, the remaining children were eventually allowed to walk the stage and collect their certificates. Meantime, Education Minister Dr. Nyan Gadsby-Dolly says the incident gives rise to another critical conversation, which speaks to the standardization of the rules and removal of subjectivity which surrounds school hairstyles, particularly for male students. The Education Minister says the time for this conversation in Trinidad and Tobago has come, and decisions will be taken for implementation in the upcoming academic year, based on the Ministry of Education's discussions with its stakeholders. Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
You see colonialism at work, colonial conditioning. You remember once upon a time, it was tattoos. Am I right, me, Tommy? And once upon a time, it was piercings, earrings, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Right.
When I was going to school, your skirt, I even call it a skirt, your skirt had to be down below your knee. If your skirt was higher than your knee, papayo for you. Papayo for you. Yeah. I mean, what is wrong with you? And you wait on the most important day in them boys' lives to deny them their certificate because of their hair. I'm not understanding. And they were okay. They were warned about it a year ago, but they were allowed to go to school with it like that, right? So why you didn't send them out to school when they come into school with the hair braided up? Why did you allow them to attend school then? You're denying them their certificate on that most auspicious day in their life. And this is what you're doing because of the colonial brainwash people. Huh? Colonialism, full at play. I'm sorry I wasn't there. Oh, God.
I least say ignorance and unjust in the church.
I'm telling you. Hey, up in the church, but Anselm, I sent you a video of a young man at another college with the hair plait, and he graduated playing the pan. I said, well, so we really double standard. If not St. Mary's, is another college, and he is graduating. He had plaits. I mean, every institution had their rules, but he had plaits, and he beat the pan, and he's listed as a graduate. What's this double standard nonsense?
Yeah.
All you what's your name, Dolly Gadsby? All you get it together, please.
Well, she's
Huh?
gonna start a conversation now.
So you want to turn these young men? Don't give them this. Can they deny them the certificate?
I guess they'll have to give them their certificate. They just didn't allow them to walk the stage.
These young men put two to. You gotta get them on the show answer. I gotta chase them down for you. And they're not involved in any negative act. They groom their hair. They groom their hair. What is? Oh boy! Wait. Farley, you gotta fix that too.
Sheldon says if the outcome cannot be changed, the voting numbers cannot win. That was to get back to the comment. And listen to this, right?
Sad, man.
How I look at it, right? That kind of plantation mentality.
Yeah, man.
And you are just going by some archaic Stone Age dinosaurical rules.
Colonial. Call it what it is. Jurassic colonial.
If you have rules and you didn't implement the rules for whatever reason,
enforce
them rules out the window.
Thank you.
Right? So you cannot now selectively decide, right? You're going to apply those rules. They selectively decide. So you know what? They must be planned ahead of time. You know what we going to do them?
Yeah.
Graduation day.
Yeah.
And teach them a lesson.
I go teach all your lesson.
Yeah.
All your own understand is we in charge, you know. We in charge. We go teach all your lesson. And here what the principal said, we told them months ago, and they still continue. So you allow them. You allow them. So you part of the problem too.
And I want to know how the hairstyle stop them from learning, from being, productive members of the student body. You know, how hairstyle. I mean, Godfather, give me a break, Lord.
And hear the request: they must cut their hair.
You must cut their hair.
You can't tell people in America. Are you crazy?
All of a sudden, you the principal of the school, but you the principal of my hair too.
Yeah. You can't tell people they must cut their. Now, I understand there's some jobs, military, law enforcement. Yeah. You're going with that. If you have a dread, you lay it, thing it up and thing, right? Am I wrong? But you can't explicitly go and say you must cut it. Huh? You can't be, come on, man. And you see what it is? The church again. You see?
2023.
That's the easiest place to enforce your program.
The church again. See?
In 2023.
2023.
Telling young, impressionable black men,
I
don't cut your hair. Cut your hair.
That groom.
Go and cut it. In order for you to get this piece of paper, you have to cut your hair.
Yep. That groomed themselves, showed up to get their paper, to go out into the world and produce and, become productive citizens. And this is how you're showing them what to expect out there. But the groom didn't come in it disheveled looking. Thing groomed properly.
Alice wants to know, when the police and army ask us to cut our hair, is that colonial?
And I injected that you going into these things with a measure of,
the police department up,
You can't do that here now, no more. Nope.
No, it harassed people in the police department.
Yep. And people wearing hijabs too.
Yeah.
Yep. You remember a fella, a sheikh. He's a sheik. Am I saying it right, Tommy? And they wanted him to cut his beard or something.
Yeah.
And don't wear turban, the thing that he's wearing on his head. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. A sheikh or something. And they no, they couldn't now. He was allowed to keep his beard and wear his hat. Wear his thing wrap up on his head. I don't know what you call it, turban. Right? So please, you can't do that no more, Alice. No. And that guy that had cut, the coach cut his locks, remember the little wrestling guy? You're a millionaire now, right? He don't know how to wrestle nobody no more. I bet she's a millionaire. He don't wrestle nobody no more.
I hope he got good investment advice.
You understand? He don't wrestle nobody no more. See, come on, 2020, Trinidad, cut you here.
Did the UNC have an opinion on this?
I hear none of them talking. I hear nobody talking from that camp.
That tree fell in the forest, so no one was there to hear.
Well, nobody heard it, so it didn't fall.
Well, didn't Highly Leader talk about it?
I don't know. I hear not from Philip Camp neither.
Oh, okay. What did Philip talk about that other people wasn't talking about? He talked about something.
Man, what? The water in the streets?
The Martin River.
Versus bank.
Oh, that is what. No, you had talked about something else.
Oh, yeah, and he had highlighted a man living in the cemetery, and he had a date.
Nah, that wasn't it. It was something that
Something that he was fixing?
No, he wasn't fixing. He had highlighted something that other parties weren't talking about. Well, you know, the PNM Scotland talk about it, but I don't know if Dr. Chaos go let Scotland go and represent them people. You know, he must didn't talk to Chaos before he make Dr. Chaos before he make that he had that interview with the media. You know, because that involves black people, you know.
But you know what? Let me ask you something to answer. Supposing, we just supposing, supposing the boys' hairstyles is a religious thing. They long hair is a religious thing. You're still forcing them to cut it? The church, inside the church? Huh? You know some people's hair are religious, right? You know.
No, but you can't say that though, because I don't think.
But we don't know.
None of them use religion as a reason why. Use religion.
Wait, I don't know. I don't know.
know.
I said the word suppose, Suppose.
I don't know. I don't know of a hairstyle that's religious. I don't know.
Highly jump in.
I don't know. But listen to this one before we go.
Column Imbert says the government's tax amnesty has been extended to August 31st. Now, today was supposed to be the deadline of the amnesty introduced last November. And according to Imbert, this may be the last extension. Now, speaking at the PNM's meeting in St. James last evening, Imbert said the government understands the pandemic was tough on everyone and that people's businesses may not be up to date. But he says with the Procurement Act in force, companies big and small have to pay their taxes.
So today, the Cabinet, after a lot of discussion, thinking about small businesses in particular, recognizing that you have to put your house in order. If you weren't doing your accounts before, if you weren't doing your financial statements before, you have to do it now. So today, we extended the tax amnesty to the 31st of August, 2023. So put your house in order. Put your house in order.
Another trinket.
Oh God! Yeah.
Another trinket.
No, yeah. Trinidadians are so many. Let me repeat that. Many Trinidadians can fall for some rhetoric.
That's your lovely part.
You put it after the local government election, and you put it 14 or as just 2 weeks later. I mean, you know, it is so blatant. I mean, what 14 days go do? What 16 days go do?
Well, I guess we gotta get our company's business in order.
Yeah, boy. But you gotta get them credit, boy. You gotta get them credit.
Put your house in order. You can't get your house in order in 15 days.
Our PNM is okay. At least the Rasta hairstyle is a religion.
All right, don't talk. Thank you, Highly.
But no, there are no Rasta in there.
Well, you know, some of them might have the locks and twist it up like plaits. You don't know nothing about hair. You bald-headed, so I know what I'm talking about.
Rasta. Yeah, okay. You see, that's what I said. Philip spoke on the school situation. I remember.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I haven't heard him, and like I said, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, he put out a whole page on that. Yeah, I remember him saying that. And you see, that's part of the thing where that people don't want to highlight them kind of thing because it's coming from Philip Alexander. You understand? And
what did he say?
No, what he talked about I don't remember exactly what he said, but I know he had talked about it because I saw it, you know, and I didn't hear the
Was
UN.
he in agreement with it or not?
I don't remember what he said. I don't remember. So, folks, before you go, Ken John, Rose, Hailey, Ellis, Mean Jean. I think Nadia, if you're still there. Sheldon, if you're still there, we normally put closing comments in the chat. Put closing comments in the chat. Vonnie, if you're still there, I don't think we saw Albert tonight. Ken John. Sheldon, if you're still there. Rajvi, if you're still there, put closing comments in the chat.
Wow. Hear the fireworks?
Yeah, I hear it, man. I hear fireworks out there.
Yeah, outside here.
As in and they're doing that in Weequake in Newark?
Well, you know, people do their own thing by their houses and stuff too.
Oh, okay. So, guys, put closing comments in the chat. You know, I mean, there seems to be so much going on in Trinidad, and every time there is a PNM meeting, we could guarantee there is something going to come out of that meeting that's going to cause chaos in the country. There's always some type of chaos when we talk about Dr. Chaos.
Well, boy, I know our friend in Tobago is going to really see how truthful Dr. Chaos is.
Doctor, you don't care. You come up with some excuse.
Or a lie.
Yeah, well, another excuse is as good as a lie. You go come up with something, you know, and that is his modus operandi. Boy, you know, I don't know, boy. His legacy. Trinidad and Tobago. His legacy is that he closed down Petrotrin. That will be his legacy. He closed down an oil refinery. That will be his legacy. All right, good night. Jared C. Yeah, Jared C says if Jesus was there, they would have put him out because he's always portrayed with long hair.
And Samson too.
Or they would have asked him to cut it.
They'd have felt out Samson.
They'd have cut it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, get out of here. Don't come in here.
Yeah.
And some of your disciples.
I don't know. But folks, don't worry. If you haven't filed your papers for tax amnesty, just after the local general election is done, you still have time to file it. Okay? So don't worry yourself. You're safe for now. Yeah, we have time. You have time in order to file. You know, we're a small business and we know you're struggling. When the pandemic finished in 2022, right?
As far as I remember.
Yeah, but it is about a year now?
7 months.
7 months. So it's only been 7 months since it's been finished. So you know you may have been busy not filing your report. So you have time to file a report. Folks, stick and stay. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is one set of dotishness to Mama Kai, you and me. It ain't have no color, it ain't have no race, it ain't have no principles or any values in place. And it was never meant to be. The the answer for unity. It shares no philosophy with any consistency. For when you watch the pedigree in each and every party, the difference you see turns out to be a case of power and money. Look here, them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint Clair, they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. That's why PNM quite young turned coat to UNC. And when Del Montley, his background showed he was with DAC. Hector Macklin, the speaker, swore PNM till he dead. And when the last election over, he was UNC instead. Augustus Ramreka Singh, I knew him in Tapia. Next thing I know, he was a PNM minister. John Humphrey changed from Trinity and he joined about 5 parties. So he's only die-hard new and grassroots me. It's PNM and UNC. I lie. Oh, die, die, die. Oh, yeah, lie. This thing called PNM, this thing called UNC, is only a power play to get our sympathy. It's not about African, it's neither East Indian. It had nothing to do with anybody's religion. Kamaluddin is a Muslim, Mahavi a Christian to the brim. Yet Montano the mulatto, different race, same party, you know. Johnny Milton and Rex Awan are 2 Chinese politicians. And while both of them love PNM, Brian Whiteton had a problem. Them French Creoles in Saint-As, Maraval and Saint Clair, tell them they don't hold no allegiance or no party here. Right through, rich men must be supporting who they feel going to win. Loyalty, friends, means nothing. Money is their thing. The name Steve Ferguson is really an East Indian who with Ishak Galbar and Singh, both parties they financing. Joey Saw and Emil Elias are PNM Lebanese, and yet Sabra of the same cast helps UNC pay their fees. Syrian businessman John Rahel, PNM make him mayor. An African wave mark as well, UNC made him minister. PNM's fundraising dinner had businessmen of all color. So it's only stupidity, you and me. It's PNM and UNC.
All right. Cuba.
Sing it, Tommy, sing it. Mighty Nisbet.
Oh, yeah?
As I'm talking to yourself.
No.
Yeah, I add my thing down there. Yeah. That was that. Okay. Hold on.
Closing comments.
So folks, it's always a pleasure when you come in the village. We had some new people come in the village tonight. We see what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are just hoping that things will get better. That's all we can say. We hope things will get better, and as we go along,
Dr. Chaos will stop causing much more chaos in the country. You know, because it's just too much. Just too much. You know? So my closing comment is, here's my closing. Why we go so quick, he doesn't even get to all the
comments
in
the chat.
Judge aside, we even get to that. So my closing comment is, always prayer is the most powerful tool against worry, doubt, and fear. So always prayer is the most powerful tool against worry, doubt, and fear. From where I said, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. See you. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. Where then?
Okay. I'll leave you with a quote or two. James Freeman Clark said, "A politician thinks of the next election, a statesman of the next generation." And Abraham Lincoln said, "Elections belong to the people. It's their decision. If they decide to turn their back on the fire and burn their behinds, then they will have to sit on their blisters." This is the Onyx Wave telling you Auf Wiedersehen. Good night.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you, Anna. Commish, go ahead.
This is on a lighter note. This one is from Betty White from the Golden Girls. She says, "My mother always used to say, the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana." Anyways, it's been a pleasure being here in the village. I always say, never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Be safe out there. I know it's going to be, I don't know what it's, well, here it's a holiday weekend, so it's going to be busy for many. Enjoy, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Independence Day.
You know, it's the told me that's the day I came to Trinidad in 1970. Came to Trinidad. I came from Trinidad in 1977.
Wow, you were days before me, because I came in on July the 9th, 1972.
Yeah, I came in July 4th, 1977.
And me, May 18th, 1984.
There we go.
Wow.
Yep. Long time.
All
Gerald
right.
C. says,
love you all.
Yeah, if Jesus was there, they would have put him out because he's always portrayed with long hair. Eileen says, judge with a pure heart, know your beliefs. Okay, good night, village. Blessings. Go with you all your days. God, go with you all your days. Nadia say, Miss Bird, go from here. You're too wicked, man. Yeah. Rose says, I agree with both Diana and Ansem about most things tonight. Tommy didn't speak much. Soon the show. He's a good listener. And good night, everyone. Be safe. Love you all. Thank you. Ken John says, God is always good, Nadia and Mongol. Be safe and have a blessed night and shalom.
Shalom sleep.
Yep. Ken John says, you have a blessed night, Nadia. Stay safe. Ken John says, good night, everyone. Blessings. Be safe. Ansem, Diana, and Tommy. Shalom.
Good night. And shalom.
Nadia says it's Canada Day today. Real fireworks in the street. I hope these fools don't burn down the neighborhood. Hey, looking for an Eugene putting a closing comment, yes? Closing comment. Enjoy life. It's a gift wrap in gratitude and love. Hey. Right. Eugene, like you want to start a rhyme too, boy? Eh? I feel you want to give highly Dr. Love competition. Nadia says, yes, night, everyone.
Same to you, Nad.
Yeah. Highly says fireworks law don't light in the neighborhood. It's allowed in open car parks or open fields, right? But my immigrant neighbors all in the street lighting fireworks. Oh, Highly, man. Come on, man. You know, them rules and them made to be broken, man. You know it is good. Yeah. And they're not supposed to have fireworks in certain places in Trinidad. Yeah?
Here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, so folks, we're gonna go out tonight with Gypsy. The devil have a hand in running the land. Because that's what seems to be going on now. Folks, good night. Take care.
Oh, yes. Somebody help. Come and put a hand. Come and wipe away the blight and see what the plight that befall the man of this land. What's going on here? I would like to know why the whole world is in a turmoil. So it look as if we fire God from the job and give the work to the Beelzebub. Man, the devil have a hand in running the land. The devil have a hand in running the land. You don't have to never like I understand.